It's the first Saturday of October and a game that could well impact what happens in November and maybe even beyond. It's UAC football on ESPN Plus as Abilene Christian welcomes in the University of Central Arkansas. Hi everyone, Grant Boone alongside the coach Bob Shipley, and what should be a terrific game between number 5 in the nation, Central Arkansas, visiting number 16 in the nation, Abilene Christian. Coach, it's a big game on the national level, and neither of these coaches are really shying away from saying how big it is.
Well, they really aren't, and it's a game, as we talked to Coach Patterson this week, talked like it could be a game that could change the trajectory of the program for years to come.
You got Central Arkansas. They believe that they're a perennial playoff team, and Abilene Christian trying to get to the FCS playoffs under Keith Patterson for the very first time. This is a game that you love, I know, as an old fullback. In an era in which teams seem to throw it 50 times a game, these two teams want to control the game on the ground. Hardly anyone in the nation does it on any level better than Shunderick Powell and Darius Hale for UCA.
Yeah, thunder and lightning, they call him. And Shunderick Powell is the lightning. He can be gone in a second. The key is to keep him corralled. But we've got Sam Hicks, number 6, who's quite a running back in himself.
Yeah, and he's a player that ACU wants to get the ball to early and often. He went for 2 bills last week against Utah Tech. Let's send it down to the third member of our broadcast team on the field. Here's Daisy Strine.
Thanks, guys. It's a hot day here in Abilene, Texas, but it's a great day for football, and we're making history. Abilene Christian University ranked number 16, their top national rank they've seen since the start of their D1 era. They're facing off against number 5, Central Arkansas University. Both these teams are known for their impressive offense this season. University of Central Arkansas leading the United Athletic Conference in rushing yards with 274 average rushing yards this season. The Abilene Christian Wildcats, on the other hand, leading in passing yards for the United Athletic Conference with 321 passing yards per game. Guys, back to you.
All right, Daisy, thank you very much. 86 degrees on the field, Bob. Feels a lot hotter. The calendar says autumn. Feels a little more like summer at the moment.
Well, it really does, and that's one of the things that I know that Coach Patterson was kind of hoping that we'd have a sunny day here, a hot day for a 3 o'clock kickoff from the guys up in the mountains. But, you know, I don't know that matters a whole lot. When these two teams get together, it's going to be an all-out brawl. It doesn't matter what the weather is.
You saw Maverick McIver. He's going to wait for a bit because Central Arkansas is going to get the opening kick. ACU won the toss, deferred to the second half. Kyler Meskey puts his right foot into it, and we are underway from Wildcat Stadium. It's going to be a touchback and 1st and 10 for Central Arkansas at the 25-yard line. You talked about thunder and lightning in the opening, and for Abilene Christian, coach, job number 1, find a way. I don't know if you can stop the run, but at least limit that Central Arkansas rushing attack.
Well, they're 5th in the nation in rushing. Conversely, Abilene Christian is 2nd in the nation in passing. So you're going to see 2 different styles, although I look to see ACU try to set up the running game because Central Arkansas will keep the ball on long, sustained drive with the 2 great running backs they have. So I look for ACU to run the ball a little more.
All right, pistol formation, Shunderick Powell behind Will McIlvain, and it to give to Powell, dancing to the right, and he's going to be thrown to the turf for a loss of 1. Big stop on first down from Jordan Mukes, and there's Will McIlvain. 7th, count him, 7th year senior coach. And I know that Nathan Brown, a terrific quarterback at Central Arkansas in his own right, really likes having that veteran signal caller.
Absolutely. Reminds me of Rex Lamberti, the legend from Abilene Christian, who was about 7 years or more.
2nd down and 11. It's play action, and McIlvain dumps it off, and this is going to be very close to a first. Another tackle for Jordan Mukes, and the pass complete to Cam Robinson. 3rd down and short, and Central Arkansas is going to go with a bit of pace here. Call it 2 yards. They hustle, play action, and they're going to pick up the 1st down. Malachi Henry on a quick hitter and a 1st and 10. Coach, let's talk about the keys to the game. Central Arkansas, you said it. They love to run the ball in this era of throw it all over the joint. They're going to pound it. Again, they go play action, pump fake, nothing there, and McIlvain with the flag coming in. is going to get back to the line of scrimmage. This is a team that doesn't get sacked, and yet Central Arkansas sacks the opponent about as well as anybody in the nation.
Yeah, they really do. You know, that play was a little bit similar to the play before, except ACU didn't cover it too well. That time ACU covered it very well, and McElvain had to go to a second receiver, but unfortunately it's going to be a personal foul, hands to the face to Abilene Christian, which will set up UCA with a fresh set of downs at the Wildcat 45-yard line.
All right, 1st and 10 in ACU territory. Central Arkansas, the highest scoring team in United Athletic Conference, ACU number 2. And these are 2 of the top 11 in the nation, all of FCS football, in points per game. Central is going to lose yardage here as Shanderick Powell goes backwards for a second time. And there to send him that way was Jerry Lawson, defensive lineman from Breckenridge, Texas.
That's a good sign for ACU. 2 touches for Powell, and both times he's lost yardage. And ACU seems to be dialed in on him right now, but watch out because they got thunder that can come right after you.
Well, and with Powell, you'll see games he'll have 3, -1, 2, and then boom, he'll hit for 70, and that's what makes him one of the very best in the nation. 2nd down and 15, not quite 15, call it 14, from just on the ACU side of the field. And McElvain drops straight back, time to throw. Over the middle, and it's through the hands of Elijah Moffitt. It was there to be picked, and he couldn't bring it in.
Well, this is exactly the situation that Coach Patterson and staff wanted UCA.
Take a look at the impact players here. Shanderick Powell and Darius Hale, the 2 running backs. David Oakey, defensive lineman, and Will Schaefer for ACU on the defensive side of things. Schaefer is Abilene Christian's leading tackler. 3rd down and long. This is what Keith Patterson wanted, and what is Ken Collins, the former ACU assistant and head coach, who's now the offensive coordinator at UCA at his alma mater. What does he dial up here on 3rd and long? It's a straight drop from McElvain, and again, all day to throw. Plants his feet, now rolls to the right. On the run, he's going to tuck and run. He'll pick up a few, and back to the original line of scrimmage. So a decision for Nathan Brown, the head coach of UCA. 4th down and 10 from the ACU side of the field.
Well, looks like he's not sending out his punting team. It's going to be, it looks like 4th and 8. So going to be interesting to see what they decide to do here. Looks like apparently they're going to go for it and at least try to draw ACU off sides.
Jake Gaster is a reliable kicker, accurate but not with the huge leg. So we'll see what happens. Now, McElvain is a good pooch punter as well, so let's watch for that. See if he takes a step back. There you go. I think here comes a pooch punt. All right, got one right. I've hit my limit, and that was a pooch shank.
Yeah, it was.
And that is a win for Abilene Christian defensively, is it not?
Couldn't be any better. Abilene Christian will have the ball on the 30-yard line. What a great first series for ACU's defense.
It was a stop overall, but it was also 2 tackles for loss on Shanderick Powell. Here's Maverick McIver. He is tied for 5th in his 3rd season as a starter, already tied for 5th in career touchdown passes with one of your former teammates, Loyal Prophet. A dump off to Martinez, and he's going to lose yardage, I think. He's going to wiggle his way through, and here comes Martinez. Martinez still going to the 40, to the 30. Nehemiah Martinez with a convoy, and somehow out of the grasp and into the end zone for an ACU touchdown.
That was an incredible effort. We all thought he was hemmed in and there was no way he was going to get out of that. And once again, the transfer from Texas Tech shows us his big play-making ability.
Amazing. He was hemmed in, it appeared, for a loss of 3 or 4. Instead, Abilene Christian is on the board first. Ritzy Vase is on to attempt the extra point. Transfer from Midwestern State up in Wichita Falls. It's on its way, and it is good. ACU with a little thunder and lightning of its own. They stop Shunderick Powell and get a big play through the air to Nehemiah Martinez. Seven 0 Abilene Christian here on the campus of ACU. Opened back in 1906, moved over to this part of Abilene.
Is wearing number
78. 15 years after that.
Number 9.
So Central Arkansas a bit shell-shocked here. They had first possession, got a first down, a couple of them, and then turned it over on downs. And as Kyler Meskey gets ready to kick it off, Bob, this is going according to Keith Patterson's script so far, isn't it?
Well, when we visited with Keith this week, he said there were 3 keys to the game, and we hit all 3 on that drive. First of all, avoid being in long yardage situation, which we weren't. Getting them in no explosive plays, 3rd and long, and forced turnovers on downs is the way we did that. So 3 of his keys to the game were met in that first series.
We got a little extracurricular over on the ACU sideline. Let's take another look at ACU's one and only play from scrimmage so far. McIver dumps it off, and you think, okay, maybe nothing, maybe a little, and then maybe a lot. And look at this. Just like in the Old Testament, Nehemiah had a wall all the way to the end zone.
What a play.
And so it's 7 0 Abilene Christian. Here's the thing about Central Arkansas. This is their 6th game. They've been behind now in 5 of the 6. 3 of them were 3-0. Okay, no big whoop. They were down big, 27-10 to Arkansas State. Came back, took the lead late, and lost. Didn't really lose, but that was the officials' ruling. Here's Shunderick Powell breaking through for his first positive gain of the day, and he'll get it out to the 38-yard line. Gain of 13.
Very good patience right here by Shunderick Powell. He just waited and let his blockers get on their blocks, and then he turned on the jets and got an easy first down.
So 1st and 10 at their own 38. In that Central Arkansas State game, Arkansas State, on the last play of the game, was ruled to have been incomplete in the end zone. They took a long review, and here comes Powell. Got one man to beat, and he's beaten Moffitt. Here comes Shunderick Powell to the end zone, and there's your answer. Powell right in the kisser.
Wow, 62 yards.
And what did we say, Coach? You can have a couple of 1s and 2s and -2s or 3s, and then boom, the big one. Two touchdowns in each game this season. He's got 1 already in the first quarter.
Yeah, he turned it on. Now he's just playing with the Wildcat defenders now.
And just like that, Central Arkansas answers. And on for the extra point, Jake Gaster. Low snap, but no problem. So less than 5 minutes in, we are tied 7 apiece.
Tied at 7.
Yes, I do not like traveling 2.5 hours in the traffic and working your way through the bigger airports. I prefer to fly ABI. And it's important to just know that you can go anywhere in the world from a small town like Abilene.
One of my favorite things about ACUTV is the way that we're constantly progressing and moving in a better direction. We're all just getting better as the seasons go on. Every game we come onto the field, better than the last.
I didn't come in with a ton of experience behind a camera, but this environment really just does help you grow. And it's very cool to be able to say, like, I am producing something for ESPN.
If you want to thrive in this field, I definitely recommend for you to join ACUTV.
didn't blink or get up to go get something from the fridge because Shunderick Powell just happened. Again, Coach, we said it, at any moment he's a threat to take it the distance, and he just did for 62 out.
Yep, that's why they call him Lightning. You can see we had a little problem with our fits there. We've got to fit our gaps exactly right. We were late filling that gap, and he was able to get through there and then turn on the jets. That's why he's one of the leading running backs in FCS football this year.
Shunderick Powell was at North Alabama and then came to Central Arkansas last year, and he joined Darius Hale, who's been there for 4 years, and it's as good a 1-2 punch as you can have in all of college football, I think, on any level. And with Shunderick Powell, you're talking about a guy who's now gone over 3,500 career rushing yards. That's second. In fact, that's now number 1 among active FCS players. He's getting close to 4,500 career all-purpose yards, 35 rushing touchdowns now, and this is a returnable kick for Sam Hicks. And Hicks moves to his right, tries to knife through, and will pick up some bonus yardage from the usual touchback position. Not much wind to speak of, and so that kickoff from Jake Ward is going to result in solid field position for Abilene Christian. Funny, last week, ACU coach had multiple scores of 50 or more yards to Blaine Taylor, Sam Hicks. There was also a 35-yard run. He didn't think that the chunk plays would be there. Well, they've had one play. It went for 70, so let's see what happens on the second possession.
There you go.
It's Jed Castles, the tight end, moving from right to left. 3 receivers to the left. It's a handoff up the middle. It's Isaiah Johnson, and I don't know of too many OCs who wouldn't take 2nd and 4.
Absolutely not. And, you know, we were talking to Coach Patterson this week. The key for the game for offense was avoiding long yardage. Positive first down plays with 6 yards is certainly a positive first down play. And then, of course, no turnovers. So, again, I look for ACU to take short passes and short chunks at a time to try to keep their defense off the field.
And they dump it off. Johnson is going to be close, and he's got now a first down out to their own 45-yard line. So a 6-yard run, about a 5-yard reception, and Johnson's been terrific in both areas this year. This is not as glamorous a running back stable at Abilene Christian as that UCA has with Shunderick Powell and Darius Hale. But when you talk Isaiah Johnson and Sam Hicks, Jordan Vaughn is going to be getting healthier now, and they'll give again to Johnson. He lowers the shoulder for 5, and 2nd and 5 coming up. Rovon Banks is going to be out again for ACU. Coach, take a look at the impact players. Obviously, Mav McIver, Sam Hicks, the tailback who went for 2 bills last week against Utah Tech. David Walker and Tamarian Wilson, you may not find 2 better defenders in FCS football than those 2.
Boy, they are solid. Watching them this week, preparing for this game, they are very impressive. This is a defense that's aggressive, and they play downhill, and they're not going to give you much. You're going to have to earn what you get.
And they'll be playing on Sundays very soon. McIver with time to throw, now rolls up, and he's going to lower the shoulder. He'll lose a yard. That's going to go as a sack, because it is a loss of 1. Now you got a 3rd down and 6, and credit the Central Arkansas secondary there, I think.
You know, you're talking about the stable of running backs. You know, really, Nehemiah Martinez kind of fits in that role a little bit. He's a guy that is, as Mike Leach used to say, you just throw a little ball out in the flat. It's just a simplified run.
Which is what we saw on the first play.
That's exactly right.
Blaine Taylor didn't have a catch in the game last year in Conway when Central won. They send an extra rusher. McIver throws. Did he hang on? Trey Cleveland? Yes. Nice catch and a heck of a job by McIver, standing in the pocket and taking the hit and delivering a strike. Another look here.
Well, that was a great. He actually had Hud Graham as well if he wanted him.
And he threw it to the proper side away from the defender. So that's a big-time 3rd down conversion against a team that's pretty good at getting the opponent off the field. 1st and 10 at the 40 in a tie game midway through the first quarter. Battle for first place, and McIver wants it all here, going deep and out of the outstretched hands of Cleveland. And from that 40-yard line, the opponent's 40, maybe take a shot every now and then, right? Even though, to your point earlier, he doesn't want a lot of 2nd and 10s, generally speaking, today.
Right. Yeah, but that was a legitimate shot. That was just 6-8 inches off target. But if you score, it gives you a whole lot of momentum.
This is a very one-sided rivalry. Central Arkansas 11-2-1. Abilene Christian has never beaten them here in Abilene. 2nd down and 10. They dump it off. Hicks has got some work to do, and he'll get thrown backwards by Tamarian Wilson, which is one of the reasons that he's not going to be done playing football for a while. Loss of 4, now a 3rd, and behind the chains.
Well, not a good job blocking by ACU on the perimeter on that, because that guy should have been blocked. Sam Hicks was left to fend for himself. He just didn't have enough room to maneuver into an opening.
That's not the first time someone said number 7 should have been blocked. It's a chore to try to get Wilson out of the play. Converted safety, kind of hybrid safety linebacker. 3rd and long, they rush 3. McIver with time, fires it, caught, 1st down. Big conversion to Javon Gibson. And Abilene Christian twice converts with big throws from McIver, and they're going to hustle. 1st and 10 at the Central Arkansas 27. Another quick throw. Gibson has a blocker, couldn't really use him as they went quickly as Martinez was out there to help. It's a nonetheless gain of 5.
Well, every time I see Maverick McIver throw the ball, it reminds me of Lowell Prophet. Lowell Prophet put every ounce of energy he had in his throw. And you can tell when McIver throws the ball, he's winding up and he is letting everything he has go into that ball. That was just a great little in route just past the sticks to get us a big 1st down.
All right, 2nd down, call it 6.5. Empty backfield now. McIver with time, over the middle, pass out of the hand of Hut Graham, a converted quarterback. And now another 3rd down opportunity for Abilene Christian.
Well, he barely missed on that one. Barely missed.
And McIver is a player who didn't play for 4 years because of injury in high school. Then he redshirted, then he transferred. So he's in his 3rd season at Abilene Christian, his 3rd different offensive coordinator. The combination coach of his maturity, just getting reps after 4 years of not playing, and the synergy with Rick Bowie, ACU's new offensive coordinator,
no doubt.
it seems to have brought out Mav's best. 3rd down and long. Here's McIver. Fires right side, caught and dropped by Cleveland. That was the easier of the 2 catches. And so now a decision for Keith Patterson. It makes it easier when you've got Ritzy Vase as your kicker to go ahead and try to go for 3 here. That would have been a 3rd down conversion, and Trey Cleveland is going to be remembering that one.
I'll tell you, visiting with Coach Patterson this week, Grant, as we did, this game is so important to he and his staff and this program.
Yep.
They feel like they're finally at a point where they can kind of break into being a continually nationally ranked team.
It's a compliment to Central Arkansas that he says that. Looks like a flag is down. The kick is on its way. The kick is good. If that's offsides, then it's going to be a very interesting decision for Keith Patterson. It is offside, so Coach, it could be 4th and 1, or you take the 3.
I'm a progressive gambler, Mr. Vegas, John Candy. I'd say, I'd go for it.
Well,
of course,
Offside, defense, number 7. 5-yard penalty will remain 4th down.
Took points off the board and then didn't get the 1st down.
they have accepted the penalty, and it brings up 4th down and a yard. Now, I suppose you could try to draw them off sides. This is a very heavily penalized Central Arkansas team. Maybe you go with the hard count to try to get them to jump and get the freebie, or else you just say, hey, we're not going to beat the champs, which is what ACU, even though Central hasn't been to the playoffs in 5 years, I promise you, this is back to what I was saying earlier about the compliment to Central Arkansas. They are the benchmark. They're the preseason favorite to win the league. They've had the success in FCS football.
The previous play was a kick. The clock should not have run. Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 5:49. 5:49, please.
That's Gabe Tomlin,
Thank you.
our official. So I think they
reset the clock, maybe.
May have. So they've got to get to the 17 of Central Arkansas. ACU 2 of 3 on 4th down this year. I think they've got this. They do. They're going to mark them at the 16. So how about that, Coach? They take 3 off the board, and for the moment, they have converted the 4th down into a first.
Well, going back to what our conversation was with Coach Patterson, this ACU team they're basically, if you come down to it, they're 2 plays away from being undefeated. A play away from, making a 2-point conversion to upset Texas Tech. And
Absolutely.
That's Texas Tech. And that, if that would have happened, that would have been just an amazing boost of confidence to our team.
Dylan.
And then Idaho.
Idaho was nationally ranked 4th at the time. Central Arkansas is 5th. It's a handoff to Johnson, breaks 1 tackle, and really just thrusts himself forward across the 15, and he makes 3 out of apparently nothing. And it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 7. Johnson has proven difficult to bring down. He transferred in here from North Texas this season, a first-year Wildcat. Where's number 23, as you see? J.J. Henry is in at wide receiver in the slot left, and it's McIver there. Maverick McIver, a name like that, born to play quarterback in West Texas. Takes the snap. He's going to lob it for Taylor. Reaches back, holds it in, touchdown, ACU! And it's Blaine Taylor again. The big play receiver for ACU has his 3rd touchdown of the season, and the Wildcats are back on top.
Boy, Blaine made that look easy, didn't he? Maverick almost threw that ball a little bit short, but he didn't have to go up too much to get it, but it was a great play by Blaine. He did what he had to do to regain the lead for ACU.
And you almost wonder if he did that on purpose, perhaps, just knowing that Taylor, with his size and knowing the ball is coming against L.J. Hewitt, the defender. They's extra point is en route, and it is good. Well, it has been an eventful first quarter. Each team has scored. Abilene Christian back on top, 14-7. (14-7) in this battle of the big country. It's Big Country Day here at Wildcat Stadium, as lots of the local civic groups are
number 19
here.
has reported
Cheer
as
on the
number
Wildcats.
79.
ACU and UCA in a battle for the UAC. Both teams unbeaten in conference play. ACU's 2-0. Central Arkansas 1-0. Bears go home next week on the Stripes in Conway. They'll take on West Georgia. Abilene Christian is on the road to play North Alabama. Big one here, one of the biggest games in all of FCS football today. And Kyler Meskey is going to kick off for the 3rd time. And Cam Robinson's going to let it go over his head. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bears at their 25. Coach, save for the Shunderick Powell 62-yarder. This couldn't have gone much better, according to script, for Keith Patterson.
Well, it really has. He took time off the clock. He kept his defense on the sideline and let them rest. He gambled a little bit, took 3 points off the board, and it worked out big for him. But, these teams are really evenly matched. Defensively, it's just really well, let me just talk about offense. UCA has 8 touchdowns on 17 red zone attempts this year. ACU is 10 of 23 before today. So it's just a really evenly ranked game, and just a fun game to be here watching this afternoon.
It's a give to Darius Hale, and he'll get minimal yardage before he's driven back by Kirby Cohealy. ECU's terrific veteran linebacker. 2nd down and long. Hale is the Thunder of the Thunder and Lightning. And he has had an outstanding career in Conway himself with 40 career touchdowns. He's got an outside chance to become Central Arkansas's all-time rushing touchdown leader. Back into the game comes Powell. 2nd down and 9 from their own 26. They're going to go Wildcat, and Powell's going to keep it. And he's going to try to bounce it to the outside, and he'll go down for no gain. It was really well defended. And let's take one more look here and see exactly how ACU did it. Little trickery with who's going to get the ball. Didn't fool our camera crew. Excellent. And now 3rd down and long.
Boy, he's like catching lightning in a bottle. Wow.
Or a lightning bug. Woo. Trajan Bridges, terrific wideout. It's at the top of the screen for Central Arkansas. 3rd down and long. They're going to give it to Powell, and he's going to go nowhere but backwards. David Oki. The most dangerous part there was the celebration.
Ruling on the field is that forward
big
progress
stop.
was stopped.
And ACU forces the first punt of the game.
Couldn't have been a better series for ACU. UCA is having a hard time getting their offense on track. They had the big, of course, breakaway run by Shunderick Powell, but since then, ACU has been able to limit them, and they gave it up on downs last time. They're going to have to punt it away this time.
On to punt, it's going to be Trace Beard. Nehemiah Martinez had a 34-yard punt return last week against Utah Tech. Back there, and boy, just getting it away. Past Deontay Dean is Ward, and here comes Martinez, runs into his own man, and picks up a few. It'll be 1st and 10 for Abilene Christian at their own 23 with 2:11 to go. Here in the first quarter, we mentioned it's been a one-sided rivalry. Central Arkansas has won 7 straight, and the last win for Abilene Christian was in Plano, a neutral site game, 52-35. The head coach for Abilene Christian is the offensive coordinator today, and for the last 6 years at Central Arkansas, Ken Collins. They ran the Wildcat with the backup quarterback all day.
There's Ken right there.
And there is Ken Collins.
Vernon, Texas, a record-setting quarterback himself at UCA back in the late 80s, early 90s.
And it's a handoff up the middle, and a couple for Sam Hicks. Hope I didn't block your view of Ken Collins. He's literally right next to us. Ken is beloved here in Abilene. His wife Robin is here with him this weekend.
He brought so much more to this university than just X's and O's, and that's what he'll always be remembered and revered for here at Abilene Christian. He's a hero in my mind.
Here and in a lot of people's minds. Here for a dozen years, 7 as offensive coordinator for his brother-in-law, Chris Thompson. It's a dump off over the middle, and Sam Hicks breaks enough tackles to get across the 35 and pick up a 1st and 10. ACU breaking tackles and extending drives. They go 14 plays in 6 minutes for a score on the last possession, and now they've got a fresh set here. And protecting McIver, getting the ball out quickly.
Nicely set up play. I just really like the way ACU has come out in this game and taking control of the clock, because we really have owned the clock in the first quarter.
Not seeing David Walker on the field on this play. It's play action, and McIver drops straight back, fires intermediate, caught by Graham at the 40. A stutter step to the 30 of Central Arkansas. That's a 33-yard pass, catch, and run from the current quarterback, McIver, to the former quarterback, Hut Graham. It started with play action, Coach.
Yeah, he started on the left side and just ran kind of a crossing route across the field and let the receivers clear out everybody. Then by the time he got there was nobody over there to cover him. So really well-designed play.
Final 30 seconds of the first quarter. And a timeout, I believe, has been taken by Central Arkansas. Mentioned it's a hot one here, 86, but that doesn't even tell the story on the field. Hotter than that.
Administrative timeout. The chains broke on the sideline. Administrative timeout.
Not hearing Gabe Tomlin very well today.
Well, it was an official timeout. He pointed to himself. I'm not really sure if the chains, I think the chains may be broken on the far sideline.
Well, while we have a moment, let's send it down to Daisy Strine with more about Ken Collins.
Coach Ken Collins, the offensive coordinator for the University of Central Arkansas, had a standout playing career where he led the Bears to a 1991 NAIA championship. He found his way to Abilene Christian University, starting as an assistant coach at ACU back in 1998. He later became the offensive coordinator for 7 seasons and eventually head coach for 5 seasons here at ACU. With that being said, there's a lot of history behind the coaching staff on the field this afternoon. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Daisy. Yeah, there's Ken Collins trying to figure out a way to find some scoring plays here for his team.
It's kind of a strange story. Chris Thompson, who was playing at TCU, led the Southwest Conference in home runs. He was my younger brother's roommate, Steven Chip. He went and played baseball for a little while. They had a guy named McGuire playing first base for the A's.
I've heard of him.
He came to ACU to play, finished up, stayed as a coach, brought Ken in at some point when he became a head coach, and they created magic here.
They did. Here's a handoff, and this is Hicks again, bouncing to the outside. He's tackled from behind after a gain of 9. And that was David Walker with the tackle. He's usually tackling opponents behind the line of scrimmage. That time, after a 9-yard gain. Abilene Christian on what could be the final play of the first quarter. Are they going to try to squeeze one more in? Yeah, they will. This will count. It's a handoff. It's Hicks, and he breaks back to the inside, and Sam Hicks is going to give ACU a 1st and goal to start the second quarter.
That is the end of the first
Abilene
quarter.
Christian closing in on 200 yards of offense in the first 15 minutes. They've got a 1st and goal to start the second, up 7. We come back. Downtown Abilene, Texas, on the first Saturday of October. And over on the hill, as they call it, northeast side of town, Abilene Christian leads Central Arkansas, trying to add to it. Sam Hicks, well, that would have worked at the West Texas Fair and Rodeo. Hog-tied by Bradley Clark. Sam Hicks went nowhere, 2nd and goal.
320 pounds spinning him around. That probably wasn't going to last very long.
Maverick McIver, in his 3rd season, so 2.5 seasons, you could say. He started nearly every game. He's now got 46 touchdown passes. That's 5th alone. Broke out of a tie with John Mays and Loyal Prophet for career touchdowns. Jim Lindsey is next, the first great passing quarterback in the Southwest. Here's McIver, dumps it over the middle, and Cleveland couldn't get it. Thought he got held a little early. 3rd down and goal.
I happen to play with both of those quarterbacks.
Yes, you know John Mays and Loyal Prophet. Here's it. Yeah.
John Mays, of course, quarterback for the 77 National Championship team. Loyal Prophet, the Abilene High Eagle product.
And Ken Collins was an NAIA, as Daisy mentioned, NAIA National Championship winning quarterback for UCA as a freshman. 3rd down and goal. McIver throws it into the end zone. No one there, but he avoids the David Walker sack. And I think they're going to say there was a receiver in the area, Jed Castle. So no grounding. He might have even been out of the pocket. But that was a big play. If for nothing else, Bob, he didn't turn the ball over. He's been strip sacked 3 times and lost fumbles this year, and that was Walker bearing in on him. You could almost call it a half win for ACU there, in that they at least give Ritzy Vase an opportunity to kick a field goal.
Sure.
They would have loved 7. They will take 3 at this point. Backup punter Hugo Nash will hold it. Good snap, good hole. The kick is en route, and it is good. Ritzy Vase is 7 of 8 this season in field goal attempts, and he extends Abilene Christian's lead to 10. 17-7, early 2nd in the Big Country.
The hunger to win is fueled by a chance to compete and the thrill of the action. The cheers from the crowd energize our team and push them on to victory. Whether it's the pregame excitement of tailgating or the postgame euphoria of winning celebrations, United Supermarkets always brings an A game to your party. From kickoff to tip-off and the final buzzer to the last out, United Supermarkets is proud to be the official sponsor of Abilene Christian University.
After 23 seasons as a professional playing and working in baseball, leadership in sports are things I deal with every day. I feel like I have my master's in baseball field experience, but I wanted the formal degree to go along with it. I needed something flexible with my schedule, and I wanted a school that shared my faith and values. That's why ACU's Master's in Sports Leadership was the right fit for me.
Pursue your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian University.
seen a lot of Texas out on the open road. From up in Amarillo down to San Antone. No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in the Lone Star State. Ford is the best in Texas.
Nathan Brown was a little concerned, he told me this week, about the length of this road trip. They had had 2 day trips when they played Arkansas Pine Bluff and Arkansas State. They bussed up to St. Louis to play Lindenwood. He said, this is our first long road trip, and I thought it was an interesting thing he said, Coach. He said, are we mature enough to handle it? And I thought that's a coach who thinks that today's game could come down to things like, how do we handle free time? How about a 3 o'clock kick when all of our other games have been at 6? He thinks it could come to that granular level.
Number 19 Coach Patterson is wearing number 79 for the kicking team.
Letting his kids
number 19 is 79.
Dorms or apartments or whatever for home games, but they've played so well on the road and haven't played that well at home. He thought there's got to be something to our kids being more focused when we've got them in the hotel. So we took most of the kids that he thought were going to be on the field today, kept them in a hotel last night, and so far it seems like it's paid off.
17-7, ACU has scored on all 3 of its possessions. Here is a returnable kick. Cam Robinson fumbles it but gets it, and now he's going to cross the 20, and he's going to start a little shy of the touchback line of 25. And he's brought down there by TJ Marshall, a backup safety. And Central Arkansas will have it down 10. It's the second time this season they've trailed by more than 1 score. The other was that Arkansas State game in the season opener. And again, I did not hear Nathan Brown or Ken Collins bemoaning that overturned call, but I think anybody who saw it knows Central Arkansas won that game. They should have won the game. The replay official overturned it after a lengthy review. They were that close to being 5-0 themselves. That was the game. They trailed 27-10, Coach, in the 4th quarter. They kept giving it to Shunderick Powell, and they came back anyway.
Yeah.
So don't expect them to just start throwing it all over the lot here. They'll go with what they think is best on that play. That's Darius Hale, the tailback in. And McElvain will go shovel pass, and Hale will pick up a couple before he is thrown backwards by Will Schaefer. Yeah, they've run that with Powell. They've run it with Hale. And that time a minimal gain, call it 3. Hale remains in at tailback. Malachi Henry is at the bottom of the screen. Here comes a blitzer. McElvain hits the tight end, Jordan Owens rather, for a big gainer near midfield. And Jordan Owens moves to change. They've had some injuries in the tight end position. Jackson Kosmeyer is not going to play again this week. But a big one for Jordan Owens, and it's a 1st and 10. McElvain with a give to Powell, a stutter step, breaks a tackle, and there he goes again. It's his 6th straight game with 2 touchdowns, and Shunderick Powell answers again for Central Arkansas.
On the run, touchdown, Central Arkansas.
He is impressive. I don't know what else to say. That cat, he can find the gap patiently, and then he hits the jets.
So watch again. By the way, this offensive line for Central Arkansas, if I told you an O-line was going to be experienced, you'd say good. If I said they're huge, you'd say that's good also. Quick, yeah. Here's the extra point from Gaster. It is good. They are all of those things, Coach, and Shunderick Powell and Darius Hale are the beneficiaries. They don't need a lot of help, but they got it there. Powell breaks another big one, and Central Arkansas is within 3. 17-14, Abilene Christian and Central Arkansas, the two highest scoring teams in the United Athletic Conference, look like it here through. We haven't even played 17 full minutes yet. It's been the Shunderick Powell show for Central Arkansas. Credit McElvain for hitting Jordan Owens, the tight end, for that first down of the possession previously, but Shunderick Powell, 62-yarder, 51-yarder. Meanwhile, Abilene Christian has scored on all three of its possessions, and Sam Hicks will field this one from the 5. He'll break a tackle, and Sam Hicks is across the 40. Sam Hicks is going to bring it out near midfield. So he went for 200-plus yards on the ground last week, and he is slow to get up as we take one more look here.
Timeout.
At Hicks
for receiving team player.
On the ground, grabbing his right, looks like either knee or hamstring.
I'll tell you what, Grant, this is just great football. I mean, just a great afternoon at football at any level. Here's
Ward with
nice
the kickoff,
return.
yeah.
Great view right here.
Hopefully just a cramp, and it is that kind of a day, isn't it?
Yep, it is.
Keith Patterson out there with
Grant,
Sam Hicks.
it's a lot of fun. Our career started many, many years ago together, and I've had the opportunity to work with you a few times. Had the opportunity to work with the great Craig Way from the University of Texas, and
legend,
broadcast with him. But I got to tell you, the guy on the top of my list might be a guy, Pat Wadlington from the Decatur Eagle Sports Radio Network.
Wow, Pat Wadlington from Abilene Christian.
Absolutely. He and I did a game together last year in Clyde, and I was just like I were when I was with you and Craig. I was just in awe of how you guys operated. It really does amaze me. Color is so easy.
No, it's
Color
not.
is so easy.
No,
You guys do the play-by-play. But what I was saying a while ago, this is just a great, entertaining game. If you didn't care who was playing, if you didn't care who won, it's just a great, fun game to watch. Two great football teams, great coaches, good athletes.
It's one of 4 top 25 matchups today. The biggest game in FCS today is underway. North Dakota State hosting North Dakota. It's number 2 Bison against UND, number 7. And you got ACU here, number 16, hosting number 5 Central Arkansas. And the Wildcats with great field position to begin their 4th possession. Scored on their first 3. Isaiah Johnson is the tailback. Mav McIver has been terrific, 9 of 14 for 158. Johnson breaks a tackle. Isaiah Johnson with a dozen into Central Arkansas territory. And so far the Bears have not had much of an answer for Abilene Christian. They're over 210 yards in barely a quarter. They're going to stack receivers high and low. McIver takes the snap and goes play action. Over the middle, caught Martinez. Ball is down, but they're saying, headlinesman said he was down, and Martinez
ruling on the field
is going to give ACU another first down. This is a 20-yard gain.
The result of the play is a first down.
Looks like the ground caused that, I think.
Nehemiah Martinez, and that's
That was a
another
good
first
replay.
financial.
David Sewer is the replay official, and always the discretion to
That
buzz
play
down to the
is under
sideline.
further review.
There's no reason not to take a look. We had one replay. It was inconclusive, but you're talking about in a game like this, why not? ACU would have loved to just kept going. But I think at the end of the day, you want to get this thing right. And if there is an angle that's better, you'd like to confirm it or overturn it. Again,
that was a really good design. We had.
This should tell us here, shouldn't it?
Yeah, great view. Great job, guys.
It's very close.
Know about that.
Very close. The knee is what they'll watch. That was the best angle, I think.
Yeah, that was a great angle. Great job, guys. That was.
So here we go again. Watch here. It's
out. I believe it.
It
wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be upset if they gave me the ball.
It's very close.
I mean, I wouldn't be upset. I mean, it doesn't matter who you root for. That call can go either way, but I'm not so sure it doesn't go to UCA. But that play, Abilene Christian had receivers stacked on the outside, and there was nobody in the middle of the field. Okay, let's take one more look at this, Grant.
A little bit behind Martinez. Dylan Williams.
Oh, I think you got. I think maybe the knee was down.
And again, there's got to be.
Call on the
Here we
field
go.
stands. First down.
Yeah, that was a great angle. That last angle was the one that showed it to me. The knee was down.
But that's how close it was, and that's why it was worth reviewing. David Seawer made the call from up in the booth, and it is a 1st and 10 for ACU, and another chunk play for a team that had a boatload of them last week against a team that's not the caliber of Central Arkansas, Utah Tech. ACU won at 55-30. Maverick empty, and he's got Johnson, who is going to pick up about 5 and had designs on more before he lost his footing. 2nd down and 5, back to what you said earlier that Keith Patterson wanted, ACU's head coach. 2nd down and 5-ish. Clock runs here, under 12 minutes to go in the first half. Abilene Christian looking for what Coach Keith Patterson called a program-changing win. Henry in motion, the tight end, now plants. It's again play action, and it's caught, and Martinez is going to be dragged down after an outstanding tackle by Dude Person, outstanding name and tackle. And he's going to bring down Martinez shy of the line to gain.
That's one of those you kind of look at and go, okay, nobody had a name there, so they just put Dude Person.
Yeah.
We used to put that on scouting reports, Otto Potts. Otto Parts, if we didn't know his name.
Love
Otto Potts. And I think maybe Dude Person, if that's a name, that's pretty cool.
I would say Dude Perfect on that tackle, because it looked to me like Martinez was going to turn upfield for a first, maybe a touchdown. Big play here, 3rd down and 1.5. The give is to Johnson, and he is very close. David Walker moved him back, but I think the initial progress was enough for a 1st down. Let's see what the call is.
I think it's going to be about 6 or 8 inches short. Yep, looks like they're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. ACU in a hurry.
Oh, so it's a high snap, it's a give, and the legs churning by Johnson, and that's what did it.
Wow.
That's what we've seen against Texas Tech. We've seen it all season long by the UNT transfer. He gives ACU another 4th down conversion. Coach, their 2nd of the game.
That's unbelievable. Great individual effort. That time it looked like maybe kind of shaky with a snap and trying to hurry up, but incredible 2nd effort.
These are 2 outstanding offensive lines. ACU has Dylan Kinney, Alan Hatton, the center Tayanta, Jacob Thielen, and Trent Pullen. And 1st and 10 at the 11 of Central Arkansas. And again a handoff, and again a minimal gain for Johnson. Pick up 2. Well, we got some extracurricular here as Tamarian Wilson.
That ref kind of just jumped in the middle of it physically.
Brave.
You know, if McIver would have kept that, he'd have had a lot of room. I wouldn't be surprised to see ACU come back with the RPO, with him having the option to either run it or throw it to somebody in the back of the end zone if they try to come up and stop him. It was a lot of green over there.
Take a look here at Taylor, top of your screen. He caught the touchdown earlier. They love the lob. In motion goes Martinez, 2nd down and 8. They'll dump it off to Martinez, off his hand, incomplete. Don't know how much room he would have had as Person was chasing him. And now you got a 3rd down and 8 coming up. Pretty good pursuit by Person. He was right there had Martinez caught it. ACU's got some trick plays they've added this week. We'll see if they might want to run one at some point with maybe a running back toss. Hicks is the tailback. McIver looking to his right. He's got a man. Graham lowers the shoulder. He's in for a touchdown. Hot touchdown, ACU. And the Cats are 4 for 4 with 3 touchdowns on offense today. And the 3rd touchdown throw from Maverick McIver.
Okay, Coach Rick Bowie came into this game with a plan. I'm talking about a plan. He probably has held some stuff out.
The ruling of a touchdown is under further review
in the season.
I think they're going to review this to make sure Graham got in.
Well, even if he didn't, it'll be a first down.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's either a first and goal at the 1. Now, here's one where you'd say, let's take another look here and see if we can tell. The question is, the knee went down. Where was the ball when the knee hit? And is there enough evidence, even if he wasn't, is there enough evidence to overturn it? 8:54 to go. The call on the field is worth noting, was touchdown. Very close. Rick Bowie throws hands up. Unbiased, of course.
Well, as we said, for sure it's going to be a first down. So,
his right leg never goes out of bounds until the ball is already forward. That's, I think, of interest. And the pylon went flying.
Might not be. I mean, it's 8:54.
Yeah.
Pretty good
The ruling
drive.
on the field
Would you
has
a
been
couple of more
confirmed.
plays
That's a
down here to run
touchdown.
another minute off
This
the
is a
clock.
head coach talking. But it's a touchdown, and I think they'll take that too.
Okay, all right.
So, Coach, we've played so far 21 minutes, and Abilene Christian has 252 yards of offense on 4 possessions. And they've now gone 14, 9, and 9 in terms of plays on their last 3 drives. Their first drive was 1 play, 70 yards. But these are the kinds of drives that Keith Patterson was hoping for. Ritzives is true with the extra point. Abilene Christian, so far, unstoppable. And they're back up 2 scores, 24 to 14. Well, the ACU faithful have loved what they have seen against a team that's been their nemesis. Central Arkansas has won 7 straight in the series. They are 11-2-1 all time. ACU's never won here in Abilene, either at Shotwell Stadium where they used to play, or now here at Wildcat Stadium, which opened back in 2017. But 24-14 the score, and Coach, ACU 4 for 4 with the ball in their hands.
Yeah, just
number 19
said,
for the kicking team is wearing number
couldn't
79.
Have scripted it any better.
Number 19 has
for
switched
Coach
jerseys
Patterson, the ACU
and is
head
wearing
coach.
79.
Obviously, he would like to have some of those long runs back by lightning.
No doubt.
Mr. Powell, but that guy is, you don't have to throw the ball when you've got Shanderick Powell, because And I don't imagine they're too worried about getting too far behind because, as we've seen, he can turn this game around with just a snap of a ball and a handoff.
Meskey's kick lands halfway through the end zone. Maverick McIver now tied for the lead in all of FCS football with 14 touchdown throws, and we've still got 8:54 to go in the first half.
Well, you start talking about Jim Lindsay and
Yeah.
John Mays, and of course Jim Reese, who's the radio voice on the ACU Wildcat Sports Network radio, and Lowell Prophet, and so many other great ones. Rex Lamberti, I mean,
Clint Longley.
Clint Longley, oh my goodness. There's so many great quarterbacks that have come through here, and Maverick McIver is making a name for himself in the history books at Abilene Christian.
Shonderick Powell, 119 yards on just 7 carries, leads the nation in yards per carry. It's play action for McIlvain, dumps it off to Jordan Owens, the tight end, and he'll have yardage close to the first down. I think they'll mark him a yard shy. 2nd down and 1. And an offense that is so run heavy, but there's so many opportunities for a tight end, aren't there, if you go play action. And Owens has caught a couple for good yardage. That's 1st and 10. Catch made by Malachi Henry. Well, we got Isaiah, we got Nehemiah, we got Malachi. We've pretty well got it covered. Genesis on through. 1st and 10 for the Bears at their own 45. Play action, McIlvain pump fake. Got a man, caught. Sliding catch by Cam Robinson. And he'll get 11, and here come the Bears through the air a couple of times here.
Yep, Coach Collins set up that play very nicely with the 2 plays prior to that.
Again, it's Powell in the pistol. In motion, Robinson. It's a give to Powell. Bounces to the outside. Breaks a tackle. And he'll have about 8.5 more. I mean, when you're talking about 9 yards per carry, some of that is influenced by his 60, 70, even an 80-yarder, at an 81-yarder this year. But what a talent he is. McIlvain drops back. He's got time, steps up in the pocket, dumps it behind. That's a loose ball.
That's a fumble.
And ACU, I think, is recovered. He threw it behind him, and ACU has taken the ball away. McIlvain, the 7th-year senior, threw it behind the line of scrimmage to Powell, and ACU falls on it, and they'll take the ball away. And it's Elijah. It's the day of Elijah. He had one go through his hands for an interception. This one, he cradled. Take a look here, and just realize that he's the senior safety. The presence of mind. He doesn't have the angle really to see, but that's why you just don't risk it. Go, get it.
What is it that Coach Patterson loves about defensive players? What does he say? Freshmen, sophomores? What does he like on defense?
He likes experience. I want an old defense, he said.
An old defense right there, and he knew that was about. A lot of guys just, you see right there, a lot of guys just thought, and he realized, oh man, that was backwards. His experience of being an upperclassman. He was able to jump on the ball and give ACU another chance to not only score, Grant, but to take some precious time off the clock with 7:34 left in the 2nd quarter. Wildcats have a 10-point lead with the chance to go up 31-14. Who would have ever thought that we'd be looking at that possibility? Now, you and I both know, and the coaches in the booth beside us from UCA know, that nothing's over till it's over. It's not like you can be up 31-14 and you don't have control.
Well, I don't think there's any question he throws it behind the line. Put it this way, all you need to know is that McIlvain went after it.
That's
so
right.
he knew.
Yeah.
Now, you can't blame him for trying to get it to Powell as the replay continues. I think they're just double checking. This should be quick, unless they're making sure that Moffitt secured it, which he appeared to.
Well, I don't know that Moffitt knew exactly where the ball came from, because he had his back to the quarterback. And so I don't know that he knew that the quarterback had already passed him up. I think he saw the receiver coming back for the ball, and so he wisely jumped on it.
One more look here.
After review, the call on the field stands. 1st down, Abilene Christian.
Yep, it is confirmed. And so again, Abilene Christian, hey, let's not lose sight of the fact that ACU is getting the ball with good field position by and large. I think their worst field position might be the 30.
And they're returning kicks. I think something they're seeing in the kickoff coverage team, they're going to take their chances and bring it out of the end zone.
5 wide receivers. Now Hicks comes into the backfield. 1st and 10. It is a give to Hicks. He'll cut it to the inside for 1.5 yards, maybe 2. And at the bottom of the pile, as he so often is David Walker.
On the play, 2nd down and 8.
Walker, whose brother Arlie Lee is a wide receiver who hasn't played much since the opener. Walker is being talked about as maybe even a 3rd or 4th round draft pick next year. And a guy that spends a lot of his summers doing mission work all over the world. Special player, special talent, special person. And here's McIver. Time to throw. Dumps it off left side. Caught Hicks. And that's just outstanding. They're going to say he stayed on his feet. I thought he was down. Instead of a no gain or a loss, it was a 7 or 8 yard gain. Then we will look at this one even. Let's see if we can tell. It was Hicks in the flat.
10 yards on the play will be 3rd and 1 Wildcat.
So right, watch the knee. I don't know if he ever did go to. So they do snap it. It is going to be a 1st down, and a late flag comes in.
2 flags.
Taylor was the recipient, so they don't review it. And let's see what the call is. It's in that area of holding or offensive pass interference.
Yep, I think it's going to be holding from a preliminary.
Holding offense, number 2. 10-yard penalty.
Yeah, they're going to get
from the spot of the
Graham,
foul.
the wide
3rd
receiver,
down.
trying to give Taylor some help. So instead of a 1st down, you got 3rd and they're going to call it from the spot. And so it's effectively a 6 or 7 yard penalty. 3rd down and 8. And McIver has Hicks in the backfield. That's Walker, you can see on the far right of your screen, standing up, averaging a sack per game in his career. It's a lob for Taylor. Goes up. Does he bring it down? He cannot. Incomplete. The ball went. The ball clearly came out. Yeah, there it is. Incomplete.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete
Good effort.
pass.
Would
Personal foul.
have been a great
Roughing
catch.
the passer.
Been able to hang
Defense.
on.
Now
number
we do
8.
have a flag.
15-yard penalty.
It
First
is.
down.
And that is a foul against Central Arkansas. Remember, they had an offsides foul go against them on a field goal that was good. ACU opted on their 2nd possession to take the points off the board. And let's see if we can see again. That is Walker who comes in. That's very close.
You can't go to the
But
helmet.
it was there's no wiggle room really there.
You cannot. It's cut and dry. You hit the quarterback in the helmet after he throws it, it's going to be a penalty.
Castle's in motion, handoff to Hicks, a burst up the middle for 7. A flag comes in on the far side numbers. And that was where Taylor was locked up. I think they're going to get holding against Central. That's the preliminary call. The gain of 7 from Hicks brought it inside the Central 35.
There is no foul on the play. Result of the play,
No
2nd
foul
down.
because there was no pass. That could have been
I see.
part of the problem
Yeah.
or part of the clarification. But a big burst, Coach, another big 1st down gain for AC. And I say big, 5 to 7 doesn't sound like a lot.
No, but we're into the 5s now on time left in the 1st half. And so ACU effectively moving down the field, but also taking time off the clock.
After the takeaway from Central Arkansas, here's McIver. 1st and 10, Walker charging, lob downfield for Cleveland, knocked away. That was brilliantly done by T.D. Williams, who saves a TD for ACU.
Boy, he had J.J. Henry on the corner route wide open. Both DBs went with Cleveland.
And it's 2nd down and 10.
Yep.
Keith Patterson looked almost sick to his stomach when he told us about his team's turnover margin of -3. He said, I've never had a team that was underwater like that. Well, today they're +1 officially, +2 if you count the turnover on downs. 2nd down and 10, pressure coming. McIver eludes. McIver on the run. He's going to keep it. He's going to have the 1st down. And Maverick McIver, brilliant with his arm, gets it done with his feet and gives ACU another 1st and 10.
I'll tell you, Maverick McIver is not only a great quarterback, but he comes from a great quarterback.
Yes, he does.
His father, Rick McIver, from Fort Stockton, Texas, played at the University of Texas. I kept up with his career. We're about the same age, early 80s. Rick you talk to anybody about him, they would tell you he had a cannon of an arm. He was also a great punter.
1st and 10, McIver looking right, going into the end zone for Cleveland again. It is knocked away again. T.D. Williams singled up with Cleveland. And Rick Bowie and Mav McIver are taking their shots downfield against Central Arkansas. And the Bears, by and large, have held up.
Maverick shaking his head after that play. You know, you just can't put it in a much better place. Could have been a little bit deeper, but I think I didn't see the replay well. It could have been a great play by the defensive back to knock it out, but still, ACU has to like where they're at right now.
ACU, no turnovers and no sacks allowed to a team that leads the nation in them. And here is McIver, dumps it off over the middle, caught by Martinez. He's got some room. Nehemiah Martinez to the end zone for a touchdown. ACU extends the lead to 30-14.
What a great play call. What a great design of a play. Coming back in against the grain like that. And Martinez, what can you say about that little chunk of dynamite? We've got our own little thunder and lightning all in one guy.
6th and 7th touchdown receptions of the season, and each has been impressive in a different way.
Wow.
Transfer from Texas Tech. And McIver has his 4th touchdown throw of the first half. The extra point from Vase is good. And with 4:54 to play in the first half, ACU now leads by 3 scores. This matches the largest deficit that Central Arkansas has had all season, and another look.
That was just a delay out there where Nehemiah kind of went out to the left and then he stuck his foot in the ground and came back hard to the right, shook the defender. Maverick put the ball right where it needed to be to give Abilene Christian 31-14 lead. We've got 4:54 left, plenty of time for UCA to score. But, you know, it's just really interesting. You don't see many teams that do this other than, you know, when it was back in the Earl Campbell or Ricky Williams days. You know, you didn't really care what the score was. You just handed off to that guy. And I'm going to tell you, this
for the kicking team
Derek
is wearing number 78.
Is good
number
as
6
I've seen
is wearing
in a long
78.
Time.
Number
he reminds me
19
of Barry
is
Sanders.
wearing
He's almost
79.
I thought the
as
same.
laterally as he is. That's the difference that he can do if the
79.
hole's not there. He scoots laterally as fast as he's going forward.
And what happened with Barry Sanders so often in his career, he would lose yardage. He'd be willing to risk a -2 for the chance to go for 50 plus, and Powell is of that ilk. But for ACU, as that offensive unit talks with Rick Bowie and company, they have been flawless. 5 possessions, 5 scores, 4 of them touchdowns. Here's a returnable kickoff. Cam Robinson from the 8 and gets just lit up by Ethan Tate before he can get to the 25-yard line. And that's where Central Arkansas, which has started, Coach, 10 to 15 yards farther back on average today in terms of field position than has ACU. I'm not saying that's the reason for the score differential. It's just that much of an advantage for ACU. By the way, that was points off of a turnover, that last possession for ACU.
That's exactly right.
Elijah Moffitt with the takeaway, falling on that lateral. And 59 yards for ACU. And that was another drive of 8 or more. Play action, now they do dump it off to Powell, and he'll have a couple. And there is Will Schaefer, the linebacker, to limit the damage. to a yard. So, Coach, for ACU, they go 1 play for 70 yards on their first play from scrimmage. Then they go 14 for 66. They then go 9 for 67, 9 for 54, and 8 for 59 as Powell is going to get to the 30 and bring up a 3rd down and 3.
I'll tell you what, 5'9", 180 pounds. He's impressive. Now this is the most important play of the first half. pretty safe to say, 3rd and 3 with 4 minutes to go. UCA down 31-14.
And remember, Abilene Christian gets the ball to start the second half. ACU puts 8 in the box. It's play action. McIlvain lobs it. It is
out of bounds.
Incomplete. And a 4th down and 3 from their own 30. And let's see what Nathan Brown wants to do here. It would scream for a punt. As frustrated as you might be, it's a little early, perhaps, to start going forward deep in your own territory. But
no doubt, especially the way ACU has been so consistent on offense. You know, we've scored every possession.
Yeah. Well, the concerns of Nathan Brown, I think, have proven to be valid. The long road trip, the earlier start, and an ACU team that comes in fired up. The Trace Beard punt, fielded by Martinez at the 27. It's a 43-yard punt with no return.
Maybe our worst field position of the day.
Inside the 30. So Mav McIver comes back out. 4 touchdown passes today, tying his career best. It's a player who threw for over 500 yards in that 1-point overtime loss against Texas Tech, his former school. And Coach, I still say one of the sneaky best plays he made all half was throwing it away on 3rd and goal with David Walker in his face to avoid any kind of lost ball. Ritzy Vase kicked a field goal, the only time the Wildcats haven't found the end zone in 5 possessions. Henry, the tight end, goes in motion. Now he sets on 1st and 10. It's a handoff to Isaiah Johnson, and he goes nowhere. 2nd and 10. Let's see if Nathan Brown wants to try any clock stoppages here with 3.5 minutes to play. Maybe on this next one, perhaps. 2nd down and call it 9. ACU has been effective really through the air primarily, but 74 rushing yards as well. 2nd down and 10. McIver over the middle, caught by Henry, and there's another 1st down. Brian Henry gives ACU 20, and it's a 1st and 10, and the clock runs because you don't stop the clock anymore, except in the final couple of minutes on a 1st down. And McIver delivers another strike. So make that 18 of 26 for 250 yards in the first half for McIver. On pace for another 500-yard game. 1st down and 10, and again, protection for McIver. Fires it toward the near sideline, and it is out of the grasp of Blaine Taylor. Gave him a chance with some air. I think McIver thought it was good.
That was a really good pass.
He's 2nd down and 10 for the Wildcats.
One more look here.
He's got to be a little frustrated.
Yeah, in the hands of Taylor. At his knees, but it's one I think Taylor would say he should have had. 2nd down and 10.
Well, he probably would have had it most of the time, but he's actually probably a little bit winded after this first half.
Yeah. Taylor has a touchdown, one of McIver's 4 thrown. It's a give to Hicks, and he'll run into Tamarian Wilson after a 3-yard gain. And let's see if Nathan Brown uses a timeout here. 2:20 to go in the first half. ACU leading it 31-14, and they'll get the ball. They'll only give him the 50. So 3rd and 8, and here comes the
is under review
stoppage
for potential targeting.
Potential targeting. Well, Central Arkansas has been dinged like ACU a couple of times today. We'll take a closer look here. It's Wilson, who's already been guilty of targeting once this year, and
certainly could be again.
Yeah, I got to tell you, and I know you're old school, but you've adapted through the years. You got to protect players, but that certainly didn't appear to be anything of a malicious nature.
Yeah, it's all about him coming in with the crown of his head.
Yeah.
And it's just as much to protect the defender
of course.
as it is because when you see guys get, unfortunately, when they get their spine compressed, especially a defensive player, it's when they've got their head down.
Yeah.
And everything's in a straight line, and there's nowhere for your spine to go except to compress.
There's a different look at it. I mean, that would not surprise me if it's called.
No, me either. But that's a pretty good angle right there. He might have got him on the top of the shoulder pads. Look,
yeah.
It's hard to see if his helmet glanced off. The helmet.
Boy, the helmet did.
Sure go
the helmet went back. And of course, Coach, the penalty is significant. Forget about the yards.
Yeah, it is.
It should be losing Wilson.
Yeah, you're losing Wilson. Yeah, and you got ACU in the 3rd and 8.
I mean, it's a big call here with 2:11 to go. It's been a game that has been has not gone perfectly for ACU, but according to the script, with the exception of 2 long touchdown runs by Shunderick Powell, this has been what Keith Patterson, ACU's head coach, wanted. Stay out of 3rd and long, don't get sacked, don't turn the ball over. And Bob, did you see a flag come in? I never saw a flag on the ground.
Never did.
There may have been, and I just might have missed it. But it seemed like there was a discussion that led to the review. And it's possible that David Seawer, the replay official, up in the booth.
Right. Yep.
Keith Patterson.
He can buzz down. Well, we're going to have a call here now. We'll see what it is. It'll be a horrible loss for UCA.
After review, number 7 for the defense committed a targeting foul against the ball carrier.
It is targeting against Tamarian Wilson.
It'll be a first down. Number 7
and that is a double whammy
for the remainder of the game.
It's a double whammy. He'll have to sit out the remainder of the game, and it gives Abilene Christian a 1st and 10 at the 35 instead of a 3rd and 8.
That's huge. Huge loss for them personally, losing that kind of player, because he is the guy back there that makes things happen.
Had an interception last week in the victory over nationally ranked Lamar. And the task just gets that much taller for Nathan Brown in Central Arkansas as they come in here 4-1 overall, number 5 in the nation, trying to get back to the FCS playoffs, where they haven't been since 2019. This is a program that was accustomed to the playoffs. They went 5 out of 9 years, starting with their first year of eligibility after making the transition to Division I. But they haven't been in 5 years. This is the team they believe can not only get to the playoffs, but maybe make a deep run. So now you got 2 minutes to play. This is the 2-minute timeout. And it gives Central Arkansas a chance to regroup. And here in Abilene, Texas, it's ACU driving, already up big. (31-14), 2 minutes to play in the first half. A big targeting call against Tamarian Wilson of Central Arkansas. Knocks him out of the rest of the game and gives ACU a 1st and 10. And Maverick McIver fires another strike to Blaine Taylor, who is going to be ushered out of bounds by LJ Hewitt after a gain of 9. And ACU has scored on every possession. And, Coach, they have now had 7 straight quarters scoring at least 13 points. So you figure you score 13 a game, you're headed to 50.
Yeah.
Here's McIver, drops straight back, fires it right side. It's through the hands of Kamari K.C. Clark, and that was the play that Central Arkansas needed but couldn't pull off. Maybe the worst throw of the day from Maverick.
Boy, it was. You don't normally see that from Mav.
To be fair, there aren't many to choose from. He's not had many subpar plays today.
No.
He's 18 of 28 for 260 yards and 4 touchdowns. 3rd down and 1. Maybe 4 down territory, perhaps. Castles and Henry move from left to right. Johnson's the tough to bring down tailback. High snap, Johnson. I don't think he got it.
No, he didn't. He's still going to be a yard short.
And a timeout taken by Nathan Brown, and a big decision for Keith Patterson. A chance to kick a field goal from 43 yards to give your team a 34-14 lead, or
clock operator, if you would, please reset the game clock.
Or maybe
1 minute 43 seconds. Thank you.
Maybe you go for this. He's got time to think about it.
Well, can I get back to you around the end of the 4th quarter, whether I think it'd be good?
Yeah.
To kick the field goal or not?
Yeah, the coach would like that leeway, wouldn't you? What would you do?
I would go for it.
4th down and inches.
But I've always been a pressure guy. I always love putting pressure on the other team. I very rarely ever defer to kickoff when we won the toss.
All right, so ACU has gone for it a couple of times on 4th down today. They've been successful both times. Now you got 4th and a full yard. They're going to stack it up and then hustle to the line of scrimmage. Does Mav go sneak here? 4th and 1. It's a give, and no! Johnson stopped. Central Arkansas had to have something, and they got it. Noah Tice was in there, as well as T.D. Williams, the defensive back. And so ACU goes for it from the 26. They lose 1. And now a chance with 1:40 and a couple of timeouts for the Ken Collins offense to put some points on the board. It was the end of the first half that drove Keith Patterson crazy last week. They scored inside a minute, and Utah Tech went down in 3 plays and got a touchdown. ACU went on to win comfortably, but that was a drive that did not set well with Keith Patterson. Now his defense is on the field. They've been great today. Powell is the tailback. McIlvain drops back. Time to throw. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to tuck and run. He's going to slide down, hurdled by Kohili. Short of the first down.
No, he was short, but I'll tell you what, they ought to replay
he
that.
Clearly is short.
He was a yard short in the red.
It was the 27. The ball was on the 27. It's only at the 36. That is a badly missed call, but it's a 1st and 10 for McIlvain. Pressure coming. McIlvain avoids it, dumps it off. Pass caught. This is Owens, the tight end, spins out of a tackle. He's going to have another 1st down. That is one of the worst misses that you'll ever see. They started on the 27. They gave him a 1st at the 36. Stop it briefly because we're inside 2 minutes. 1:07 to go. Play action, pressure coming. And McIlvain reverses field, stays on his feet, now goes down for a sack. And a timeout taken. Kirby Kohili brought him down for a loss of 4.
Central Arkansas has called their second timeout of the half.
By ACU
This will be a 30-second timeout.
They have just really taken poor angles on their blitzes and are not breaking down when the ball carrier is getting ready to be tackled.
I appreciate in tempo situations the officials wanting to to round up if it's close, but when you only need 9 yards for a first down, and you see this is not about that particular play so much as just the speed at which they're trying to keep the game moving.
And usually when a guy slides, they'll even mark it back further than you thought they should have when they slide.
It's when they begin to give themselves up.
Even if they wouldn't have given him that, he still wouldn't have.
It's 2nd down and 13. Just the 4th sack allowed by Central Arkansas, and you can't really blame that on the O-line. That was McIlvain out in space. 2nd down and long. Under a minute to go. Over the middle, pass is caught, then knocked out of the hands, and this could be targeting against ACU.
Sure could.
Jameer Dudley was the safety who came in to dislodge the ball. 45 seconds to play in the half. I mean, that is potentially a defenseless receiver. Cam Robinson, who's the intended receiver.
Defense, number 19. That play is under further review.
And all targeting calls are reviewed. So ACU trying to avoid losing one of its defensive playmakers, as Central Arkansas has. This is an enormous play. Unless I missed it, they didn't call pass interference, it was just targeting.
Right.
So if they determine it's not targeting, then it would be 3rd down and 14. If it is targeting, and it looked at first blush like it was to me, anything up around the head is, I think they're going to err on the side of targeting. Take another look here.
Yeah, I think it is.
Close to the shoulder and the helmet.
It's a lot like the targeting that UCA got called. Really could go either way, but I suspect it will go against ACU, and it's going to give UCA good field position. ACU will lose one of its best defenders with 45 seconds left in the first half. All right, let's see this one more time. They have a little better view.
Yeah, hit the helmet.
Yeah.
I think the first contact was with the helmet.
Was it crown or face mask? I don't know that it matters. I've always heard the crown. I would expect it to be a targeting.
If it is, it'll move the ball to the 41 of Abilene Christian with 45 seconds to play. And with still a timeout at the disposal of Central Arkansas, I think you've still got the chance to give it to Powell if you want, don't you?
Yeah,
at least once.
I wouldn't shy away from it, but just look at the momentum and the way things have changed so quickly. Even if we were to settle for a field goal, but had we been able, to score, you're looking at 38-14 probably going into halftime, and now you could be looking at 31-21 going into halftime, and that's certainly well within reach of UCA. You could have a 4-touchdown lead going into the fourth quarter.
Well, remember, they were down 27-10 in the fourth quarter against Arkansas State of the FBS. They came back to take the lead in that game, and I think everyone who saw the game knows that they rightly won the game, even though the replay showed it or decided otherwise. This is a really long review. Remember, always worth noting the call on the field, which was targeting. So there's going to have to be enough seen by David Seward. It's going to have to be enough that he sees to overturn this, and that's a lot to ask. So a 4th and 1 stopped by Central Arkansas on the ACU 26-yard line. Don't know if that bad spot really would have mattered in the grand scheme of things. It did give Central Arkansas, I'm talking about in their first play, they were given a first down after a 9-yard gain. But, I think we are finally ready. Gabe Tomlin will tell us. Hopefully we can hear him.
After review, the call on the field has been confirmed. Number 19 for the defense committed
It is
a
targeting,
foul.
and that's the end of the day for Jameer Dudley.
Yards, and it's an automatic
So each team
first down.
loses a playmaker. In Wilson, you've got one of the very best in the nation. I will say this, if you're looking at bright sides for both, they happen at the end of the first half, meaning you don't lose the first half of the next game.
That's exactly right.
Now, they're worried about this one, I know.
Sure.
Number 19 for the
And it
defense.
is going to be
has been
Central Arkansas
disqualified
with
for the
Powell
remainder
in
of the
there,
game.
tailback to the left of McIlvain, who is 8 of 11 for 83 yards. The 7th-year senior. One of the national leaders in passing efficiency. He's been efficient today, but no big plays really through the air. 28 yards, the longest completion. 1st and 10 from the ACU 41. McIlvain dumps it off. Powell is going to break a tackle. He's going to get outside and stop the clock. And he should have another, well, be close to a first down. 2nd and 1, 37 seconds to go. Jake Gaster, the field goal kicker for Central Arkansas. I think they would want to get to the 25 at least. Of course, they're thinking 7 at this point. Clock stops. Big moments here. McIlvain looking left side, caught, and a first down. And that'll stop the clock briefly. It's Manny Smith's first catch. Ball at the 28 of ACU. Once they mark the ball for first down, they start the clock. McIlvain in the gun. Drops straight back. He's got time. Rolls up in the pocket. He's going to keep it. He's going to go down. And that could be a flag. Instead, it's going to be the final timeout taken by Nathan Brown. When you give yourself up, the defender's supposed to lay off.
Called their 3rd and final timeout
18 seconds to go. Final timeout. Again, you've got the sidelines coach that could be a clock stopper. You've got a first down that could be a clock stopper. And with 18 seconds to go here on the first half clock. This has been a fun one, Coach. Just what we thought. Two top-ranked teams in the nation.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun, and especially for those of us who have ties with both teams.
Yeah.
And it really makes it fun because when we're not playing UCA, I'm always pulling for UCA.
For sure.
And so anyway, being Abilene Christian man myself, it's great to see the Wildcats coming out and playing against a top-ranked team from Central Arkansas, and also a rivalry that we haven't been keeping up our end of the deal.
Well, there's no other way to say it. Central Arkansas has dominated the rivalry. They have been the better program. They're about 10 years ahead of ACU in terms of, or 6 years ahead of ACU in terms of going Division I. We've got another review here.
That's what we were afraid of.
And you're worried about the potential, if you're an ACU fan, of some type of a defensive foul there. 18 seconds on the clock. Abilene Christian scored on its first 5 possessions and was stopped on a 4th and 1 from the 26, easily within Ritzy Vase's range. The outstanding field goal kicker for ACU. A chance to make it 34-14. You didn't have a problem with the decision. It was a great play by Central Arkansas.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt.
So this is what, half dozen reviews we've had?
Yeah, it is. The only thing about that particular call is being so close. Okay, let's see this review they're looking at right now. I don't know that he could have stopped.
It certainly wasn't excessive, but you're protecting the quarterback. That's first and foremost.
I wouldn't have a problem with them calling it just to protect the quarterback.
Yeah. More look here. It also wasn't your classic slide. It's like, is he going to go forward? Is he going to stop? Okay, now he goes down. That's close. And if you're Keith Patterson, you certainly, you're certainly not wanting Chris Wright to even make this reviewable.
Well, it wouldn't have probably been reviewed had they not called timeout.
That is the last timeout for Central Arkansas. So we were saying you've got the first down that could stop the clock. You've got the ability to spike the ball, to clock it, to stop it. You could get out of bounds as well. So multiple ways. But we'll see.
You got 3 plays.
It's either going to be 2nd down and 7 or a 1st and 10 at the ACU 13-yard line. And if they rule that Chris Wright got him in the helmet, which I didn't think at first, and that could be potentially another ACU defender. One more look here. It's one of those plays that, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you're saying, what's the problem? It seemed harmless, but again, you give yourself up as a quarterback and you're expecting protection. And so Gabe Tomlin talking to his team of officials. Also checking time as well, of course.
After review, the call on the field was confirmed. There was no targeting. Central Arkansas, however, does get their timeout back as a replay review was initiated. So Central Arkansas has 1 timeout remaining.
Okay, so Central is not charged with the timeout, which is helpful to them. They call the timeout, then the review happened. So they kind of get the bonus there. 2nd down and 7 from the ACU 25. Powell in motion. McIlvain with time. Now pressure comes. On the run, McIlvain fires across his body. It is caught. What a catch by Trajan Bridges in Oklahoma.
6 seconds left.
An
Central
Oklahoma
Arkansas
recruit.
has called their final timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
I'd like to see the review on that catch.
And they of course, will review every play.
Yeah, I'm certainly made it, but that was a great play. McIlvain doing a good job keeping
Clock
plays
operator,
alive
please
with his
reset
feet.
the game clock to 7 seconds.
That mobile.
7 seconds, please.
Well, the ruling on the field again is a catch. There's no review at the moment. It's just a timeout taken with 6 seconds to go. 1st and goal at the 9.
Looks like they added 1 more second.
Got 7 seconds on the play on the game clock. And again, this entire possession began for Central Arkansas after stopping ACU on 4th down. So you got a 4-point opportunity here. If ACU gets a stop here, they could force a field goal attempt. And Central Arkansas has got to be careful of the play extending and running out of time. Snap back to McIlvain, looking left, pressure coming, he's going down. No, he gets out of it into the end zone. It is incomplete, and that's the end of the first half. That's the long play. It was an incredible job by McIlvain to elude the sack. Looking for a flag.
I don't see
any flags. I think they're going to check the time. How about another video review for
There
good
was
measure?
1 second on the clock when the ball fell incomplete.
1 second on the clock.
Operator, please reset the clock to 1 second. 1 second,
And that
please.
does give Central Arkansas a chance.
I would love to see a replay of that.
I think Keith Patterson wants a timeout.
I thought time was well gone. Yeah, I think Patterson's going to take a timeout and look at the replay.
Timeout, Abilene Christian.
Keith Patterson is adamant
This will be a 30-second timeout.
that ought to be the end of the half. And again, this is a game that I think we believed from the very beginning would come down to the final minute. What a job by McIlvain to keep the play alive against David Oakey. We don't have the clock matched up, but the play doesn't end until the ball lands.
That's exactly right. We learned that Texas and Nebraska in the 2009 Big 12 championship game. Colt McCoy was going to be a hero or a goat after that.
That went the Longhorns' way that day.
It did.
But this is an enormous
Tickets go on sale at
decision.
ACUsports.com on October 16th.
And
Always fill up the stands for the 2024
again, there is no review here happening. And so it is going to be an opportunity for Central Arkansas.
I wonder if we had a view from the end zone that could show the clock possibly.
No, it is going to be, as Nick Holt, co-defensive coordinator, that guy has seen some football, hadn't he, through the years? My goodness.
Yeah.
Coached defense for USC under Pete Carroll back in the day. So here comes an opportunity. 27-yard field goal for Jake Gaster. Good snap, good hole. The kick is away, and it is good. And that is a massive 3 points for Central Arkansas to end the half. 31-17 in favor of Abilene Christian as the first half ends and a Central player is down, being tended to by Ethan Brown and their staff.
Fans, it's time to sit back and enjoy the Hendrick Health halftime show.
All right, halftime here at Wildcat Stadium. Let's send it down to our team on the field, Jaden West and Ryder Maple.
31-17 your score here at the midway point in Abilene, Texas. The Wildcats with 336 total yards, a great way to start off the upset bid against the number 5 ranked Central Arkansas Bears. But the big story, the physicality coming from this up-front defense for the Wildcats is really kind of dominating Central Arkansas so far.
Yeah, both teams in the trenches. It's been a battle. ACU defending against a team that has 20 sacks, leads the nation. They've given Maverick time. They've given him space to be able to throw the ball, and ACU's been containing the run, except for a couple explosive plays from Central Arkansas.
Yeah, that's your story. We'll talk about it more when we come back. 31-17 your score. We'll be right back after these quick commercial messages. Texas, the Wildcats lead the Central Arkansas Bears 31-17 at the midway point. Jaden West alongside Ryder Maple here in the south end zone for your halftime show. It's been a good one so far today. ACU, though, in control. Maverick McIver playing really well. The rush game also looking good for the Wildcats. What do you see so far in that first half?
Yeah, like you just said, the rush game's looking really good. ACU's had some explosive plays, but so have the Bears, and it's been good on both sides. ACU, they got that one turnover, and that was really good for them. That gave us a score. Moving in, and here's some halftime stats.
Yeah, take a look for the halftime stats in the first 2 quarters. We mentioned it earlier, over 300 total yards for the Wildcats, 76 of them on the ground. They're 2 for 3 on 4th down conversions. They didn't get the one towards the end of the half, which resulted in a field goal for the Bears, kind of cut that deficit down a little bit. That's huge going into that next half.
Yeah, the Bears have 148 rush yards. Penalties for both teams, similar, but that one turnover gave ACU an extra possession. And those first 3 drives for ACU, they scored until that last one. They went 2 for 3 on 4th down.
Yeah, for Coach Keith Patterson, the turnover battle is huge, and we haven't been winning it all year. That is the Wildcats, but today, +1 so far, as good for the ACU Wildcats. You take a look at the quarterback comparison, 18 for 28, Maverick McIver with 260 yards. He's already thrown for 4 touchdowns and doing a good job of protecting that ball. On the other side, Will McLevin, 11 for 15 with 112 yards, 73% completion percentage. They're doing a good job, but Central Arkansas really relying on that run game.
Yeah, you can see for Central Arkansas, only 112 yards for him and only 15 attempts. That means they trust their run game and they're pounding the ball, and it's looking good for them so far. They had those explosive but ACU's been containing them in the trenches on both sides of ball, offense and defense.
ACU controlled the time of possession in that first half. That's going to be big coming down in the stretch as well. Big story here today. It's a huge game between ACU and Central Arkansas, as both these teams are ranked coming into today. Central Arkansas at that number 5 position, and ACU also ranked as well at number 16. Both teams in the UAC, that is the new conference here, that both have a chance to make into the playoffs. The conference winner will get an automatic bid. This game is big for that.
Yeah, for ACU, this is kind of unknown territory. In KP's years here, in the past 3, they haven't really been in this spot. But looking here, it's 24 teams going to the FCS playoffs, single elimination, 14 at-large teams. So that could be a second place in the UAC, ACU, 10 conference champions. So that could be ACU, that could be Central Arkansas, Tarleton, we don't know yet. Top 8 teams receive first-round byes. That would be huge if ACU can win, get some wins against the conference opponents, and then the pairings, geographical location.
You mentioned that the Wildcats have never, ever been really an opportunity to make it into that playoff. But this, after a really good first half of against Central Arkansas, they have a chance. They're putting themselves in prime position to possibly November 24th be a big day for the ACU Wildcats.
Yeah, ACU has looked good today, and if they can carry it through to the rest of the game, it could be good for the rest of their season.
31-17 your score at half. We're looking forward to another great 2 quarters here at Anthony Field at Wildcat Stadium. Look forward to give it back to the guys up top in the booth for that second half.
Warm Saturday here, first Saturday of October in the big country of West Texas. Abilene, to be precise. Abilene Christian leads University of Central Arkansas 31-17. Grant Boone and Bob Shipley with you. It has been an eventful first half. And Coach, it started in the first play from scrimmage for ACU, and Nehemiah Martinez caught it, and they couldn't catch it.
Yes, he sure did, and he came on with a Houdini trick of his own, because you actually called him down.
Yeah.
I mean, we both thought he was down, but that player continues to amaze me week in and week out.
And so does this guy, Shunderick Powell, from 62 yards out. He had been thrown for losses the first couple of rushes, but as he so often does, he breaks a big one. And then Maverick McIver lobs it for Blaine Taylor, the 6'5" wideout. The second touchdown toss for McIver. And then again, Shunderick Powell. How fast is he? Fast enough.
Fast enough.
To outrun the defense. His second long one, that was 51 yards. And then McIver to Hut Graham. And here's the final highlight. A ball thrown behind the line of scrimmage, taken by Elijah Moffitt. And ACU takes advantage. And Nehemiah Martinez took it in for his second touchdown reception of the game. But a big momentum shift, we'll see how big, at the end of the first half with 1:45 to go in the half. ACU on the 26-yard line of Central Arkansas. They went for it on fourth down. They were stuffed by the Bears. And then Central comes down, aided by a targeting call on Jameer Dudley. Each team lost a player to targeting. Tamarian Wilson for Central, Jameer Dudley for ACU. And on the final play of the first half, Jake Gaster kicked a field goal to make it 31-17. ACU gets the ball to start the second half. Fair catch called for and made by Nehemiah Martinez. And the Wildcats will take over, 1st and 10, at their own 25-yard line.
You know, there was a lot of stoppage of play that last drive.
Yeah.
And some of them were very serious. And, you know, I thought it was interesting, the last play when it looked like the UCA quarterback was going to get scrambled, he was able to get out of it and make the pass. I just assumed that 7 seconds had already run off. But I actually went back and was able to see it, and it was the right call.
Yeah, I think they got the call right.
They got it right.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Gaster took advantage, and so now instead of a 3-score deficit, it's 2. And can Central Arkansas get ACU off the field? It's a zone read, a handoff to Isaiah Johnson. He'll lose a yard. And a good start defensively. Jace Benesh with the tackle, the leading tackler for Central Arkansas. Drops Johnson for a loss of 1. It was Johnson who got dropped on the 4th down and 1 play. 2nd down and behind the chains are the Wildcats offensively here as the shadows begin to creep on to Anthony Field. McIver brilliant in the first half, 18 of 28. Fires this one short to Martinez, and he'll pick up a few. They'll give him the 28-yard line. And Central with a bit of the momentum. Big play early in the 3rd quarter if ACU converts. And in the first half, they were 5 of 9. They keep a little bit of the momentum on their side if Central gets off the field. And they keep it on their side. 3rd down and 7. Walker standing up on the left side. They chip him. A deep ball going for Taylor. And he can't bring it in. In Taylor's hands, it looked like, as he stared back into the sun. ACU needed 7. They went for the home run and struck out. Here's another look at it.
They did. Sure. Thought this was going to be a catchable ball. I see. Yeah, he had to turn. Mab threw it a little bit over his left shoulder instead of his right shoulder. You know, but this UCA defensive staff, well, actually the whole staff, Nathan Brown and his staff, they have so much continuity. They've been together so many years, and they've been so competitive at a high level every year. You had to know they were going to come out in the second half and make some adjustments. They're just not going to stand there and let ACU continue to do what they've been doing to them offensively.
First punt of the game for Grant Nickel. Not a great one. Trajan Bridges calls for the fair catch. So from their own 28 to the 40 of Central Arkansas, just a 32-yard punt. And I would suggest a big possession here for the ACU defense. They did a good job of limiting Central Arkansas to really 2 big plays. The Shunderick Powell touchdown runs of 62 and 51. But now Central Arkansas gets its first 3 and out of the game defensively. And they have great field position here. McIlvain was solid running and throwing on that drive to end the half. Tyler Siddons is the tight end. They go shovel to Powell. Another broken tackle. Another. And he's got about 8, maybe 9. Get the ball to 27.
Yeah, it's a slow developing play. They brought in number 38. Pretty good size tight end for them to lead the way blocking. Slow developing, but it gave the time for the offensive linemen to get on their blocks.
In motion goes Tyon Berry. Powell is going to get the first down as he's dropped by Will Schaefer and Chris Wright. But it's a 1st and 10 in ACU territory. And it feels just up here like things have shifted a little bit after ACU took a 31-14 lead and had the ball with a chance to extend it late in the first half.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. It's ACU is going to have to try to get this offense off the field and try to make something happen, obviously, with their offense. But as I said, this is a great UCA staff, and they've been in this situation numerous times. There's not anybody over there on that sideline panicking, I promise you.
Mentioned they came from 17 down in the 4th quarter against Arkansas State, trying to do it again here with even more time. McIlvain over the middle, wide open, but through the hands of Trajan Bridges. Might have been a little behind him. 2nd down and 10 from the ACU 48.
Yeah, it was a little bit behind him, but I really thought that McIlvain could have run it for a first down and maybe even a little bit more. Probably don't want him to run it, but he certainly had a lot of – he's shown good mobility to me today. He's not incredibly elusive, but he has certainly done a great job of avoiding and not just today. He's not sacked, as you mentioned, many times at all.
No, just 4 times once today. And sometimes it's not about speed, it's about being elusive. 2nd and 10. It's play action. Dump it off, caught by Bridges, and he stood up and thrown to the turf. After a gain of about 6, it was ACU's Dorian Plumley making the stop, but a 3rd down and 4 coming up for Central Arkansas.
Well, this will be a big play. I think I might know who the ball would go to if I was calling the plays, but I'm an old has-been coach. I hung it up a few years ago, so we'll let the real pros decide on how they're going to get the first down.
Well, you got Ken Collins, who has a lot of options here. 3rd down at about 4. It's a give to Powell. He's got the first down, and he's got more to the 35-yard line, a gain of 7. And the nation's leader in yards per carry. Actually, he's a little under his average of 9, but he gives Central what they needed. So talented, and he's a guy that has drawn comparisons to ACU's all-time leader, rushing leader, Bernard Scott. ACU's had 2 legendary running backs, Bernard Scott, who won the Division II Heisman, the Harlan Hill Trophy, and Wilbert Montgomery. And Ken Collins, who knows both well, says the comp is real. Here's a handoff to Powell again. Haven't seen much of Darius Hale, not much thunder, but a lot of lightning today. It's 2nd and 8.
And, you know, I thought that was coach talk. I thought, no, he's one of the best I've ever seen. And then Powell pulls into town, and I go, okay, I get it now. Here he goes. He almost broke that one. Broke through the middle, and good play that time by Tyson Williams as he came up and made a big stop.
Yeah, the corner who's drawn a lot of praise from Keith Patterson of late. He said he's made the most progress among his young corners. All new corners this year for ACU. They lost the likes of Anthony Egbo last year. Now you got a 3rd down and 5. Getting close to field goal range. Who gets the next points? It'll dramatically impact this game. McIlvain goes deep. He's got his man caught. 1st and 10. Jordan Mukes was playing soft on Tristan Edwards, and it's a 1st and 10, and McIlvain was right on the money with that one.
Well, it's really hard to give your cornerbacks help on that route. It's just an out route. It's your guy on their guy, and hoping the quarterback has the time and can get the ball to him.
Hale is going backwards this time. Darius Hale gives Powell a breather, and he loses 2. Back to the 15-yard line with the clock running under 10 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
You know, there's not that many head coaches that are calling offense and defense nowadays. Of course, Steve Sarkisian is probably the most well-known in the FBS level, but of course Coach Patterson, the head coach at Abilene Christian, calling that defense, and he does a great job. I think he'd probably prefer not to, but he is an incredible defensive coordinator.
All right, so there's McIlvain splitting out wide, Wildcat to Powell. He can throw it. He's going to run this one, and he's going to pick up maybe 3. So ACU twice has stuffed the Wildcat with Powell. He did throw and complete one to Malachi Henry earlier this year against Arkansas State. But now you got 3rd down and almost 10. You're down 2 touchdowns. And a points play here potentially for ACU's defense. Chance to force a field goal attempt with a stop. Any gain of maybe more than 5, and we'll see if they opt to go for it. They'd rather just pick it all up right here. 3rd down at about 10. Snap to McIlvain. He's going to throw it. Time to throw. All day to throw. Dancing in the backfield. McIlvain now runs to his left. Fires across his body. It is knocked away, incomplete, as a helmet and a ball go flying.
Wow. That was a great play that time by Tyson Williams. I didn't think he's going to get there on time.
I mean, how hard is it? You played linebacker as well. How hard is this to cover this long?
Incredibly hard. And, you know, that defense has been out there for a while, but we should have better pass rush than that. Or ACU should have better pass rush than that.
That was Schaefer who came flying in at linebacker to knock it away. And so here comes the Jake Gaster field goal attempt. It's going to be a 31-yarder. Good snap, good hold. It's blocked! Blocked!
Wow. Well, I tell you what, UCA had all the momentum. We could feel it turning, and ACU was able to make a block to keep a 2-touchdown lead.
The 2nd blocked kick of the season for Abilene Christian, and they keep Central Arkansas off the board.
Okay, I'm a coach. I'm not an official. Do you call that a turnover? Is that considered a takeaway or?
Yeah. Call it what you will. It's Abilene Christian ball when we come back.
There you go.
To the big country. ACU still in front, 31-17.
I'm a storyteller at heart, and getting behind the camera allows me to capture stories that mean something to me. I knew I could turn my passion into a profession with an MBA. With the flexibility of ACU Online, I was equipped to travel and work while finishing my degree. ACU gave me the skills to become an entrepreneur and do what I love, telling my clients stories.
Pursue your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian University.
The reason why I fly ABI is because it's simply a breeze.
I fly ABI because it's the fastest way to get where I want to be.
I'm coming up on 1 million miles with American Airlines, and I've never once driven to DFW Airport. The service out of Abilene Regional is great. The people are friendly. The parking is simple and easy. It's just a great experience.
Kagan Roach celebrating on the ACU sideline. He got his hand on the kick of Jake Gaster. Let's take another look here. And Roach denies Central Arkansas. And ACU takes over, play action. McIver wants to go deep. Going for Martinez, he's got him! Deep into UCA territory, makes the move, and Martinez is on inside the 10. And gives ACU a first and goal.
And that's good for another first
75 yards. The second time that McIver and Martinez have hooked up for 70 plus. What a move at the 30. And then impressive here to hang on to the ball on the strip attempt.
That's what I was worried about. I was worried about seeing that ball come out for ACU after such a long play. Certainly momentum shifting back their way now.
So they get a blocked field goal and now on the doorstep of another touchdown. Handoff to Hicks, the offensive player of the week in the United Athletic Conference. The scrum pushes down to the 1. Boy, these two teams have just littered the UAC Player of the Week awards all season long. 7 different Wildcats or Bears have been Player of the Week so far in the first 6 weeks of the season.
And there will certainly be some nominees from this game.
You know it. McIver is front and center, 339 yards. Second and goal from the 1. Again, the give to Hicks. He is stopped. He'll lose a yard or 2. And the Central Arkansas interior stopping ACU on 4th and 1 in the first half. And now they get a big stop on 2nd and goal. And a 3rd and goal coming up for ACU. And you're always thinking a play ahead. If you don't get this, are you going for it or are you going to take the 3?
Yeah, I'm going to swallow my pride and take 3.
Well, that would put you back up by 3 scores.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Midway through the 3rd period. ACU hopes it doesn't come to a 4th down. Johnson is the tailback. McIver is thrown for 4 touchdowns. Henry and Castles, the tight ends, move from left to right. Taylor's on the right side. Into the end zone. Pass past the extended hands of Trey Cleveland. And MacGyver just off the money, and here comes the field goal team. One more look here.
Yeah, he had him wide open, no doubt.
Yep, Cleveland was open. Well, you don't want to risk a pick six. You did have that defender who was chasing, and now here comes Ritzy Vase.
Well, what a really nice stand by UCA. I mean, they could have really just given that up, but they fought.
The 2nd and 1 play was the big one.
Big.
High snap, field goal on its way, and it is good. And so, ACU blocks a field goal on one end, converts one on the other. They're back up by 3 scores, doubling up Central Arkansas here in Abilene. Wildcat Stadium, first Saturday of October. Abilene Christian, a field goal after blocking a Central Arkansas field goal attempt on the other end. Remeski's going to kick it off for ACU, their kickoff specialist. That was a massive swing. You got Central Arkansas driving for a possible touchdown to cut it to 7. Instead, they have a field goal blocked, and ACU gets the 75-yarder to Martinez to set up their field goal attempt. Coming the other way for Central Arkansas, massive hit by TJ Marshall on Tyon Berry. And a flag thrown in the middle of the field. See what Gabe Tomlin tells us.
During the return, holding receiving team number 15.
All right, so
10-yard penalty.
Move Central Arkansas
Media
back.
timeout.
10 yards. So the Bears are backed up. The shadow of their own end zone with ACU up by 17.
Fans, please direct your attention to the video board.
It's here, that time of your life. The time you get to choose a path forward. What will you be is here. What do I want to do with my life is here. You can do anything. You've worked hard to make the grades, done what was necessary, and now it's here. It's here. Your world awaits, it's here. Where will you go? And who will you meet? It's all here. The chance to live your dreams, make new friends, and launch yourself on a path to a career you love. ACU is here.
For 100 years, Hendrick Health has been the regional leader in healthcare, combining medicine, ministry, and research, providing high-quality healthcare for every patient in West Central Texas, expressing our mission through service consistent with the healing ministry of Jesus Christ, advancing medicine and healthcare through clinical research. In 1924, Hendrick Health was founded by pioneering West Texans who believed in caring for each other. That legacy lives on today, together for better health.
It's here.
Athletics through the Strive on Cats initiative. This program is designed to enhance our athletes' opportunities in name, image, and likeness, and ensure they thrive both on and off the field.
Still warm here, 5:45.
Learn more about how you can get involved and help
Time here in Abilene, Texas. Temperatures mid to upper 80s all afternoon. And 1st and 10 for Central Arkansas. Sam Hicks of ACU, terrific running back. Kick returner. First and 10 for the Bears. Play action. McIlvain with a connection to Trajan Bridges. And he'll go down just shy of the line to gain. Second down and short.
I tell you what, that ACU defense is coming up and laying some hits on some of those Bear ball carriers.
Bears go quickly, and again, McIlvain hits Bridges, and this one is going to result in a first and 10. Out to the 28-yard line. We have a whistle. A flag is down right at the spot of the tackle.
Personal foul, face mask. Defense number 2. 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, that's Jordan Mukes, the corner. So add 15 yards to that first down. Move it out near midfield. They'll spot it at the Central Arkansas 42-yard line. Each team has been dinged for some 15-yarders today. And that gives Central some breathing room out from their own 13-yard line. And Shunderick Powell, with 20 minutes to play in the game, still a factor here with his team down 17. But McIlvain's going to throw again. He's got Bridges this time on the near side. Makes Elijah Moffitt miss. He'll pick up 6 out to the 48-yard line. 2nd and 4. Let's see how quickly Ken Collins and this Central Arkansas offense want to go. McIlvain beginning to find a bit of a rhythm. Now 17 of 23 for 158 yards. It's a give to Powell. He'll go down from behind. That's Jerry Lawson, who got him on his first carry of the game for a loss. And it brings up a 3rd down and 8.
One thing about Powell is you better have some guys on the edges, because he'll go over the center guard gap. If it's not there, he'll be outside of you before you can even blink an eye. So it's a good job that time by ACU to keeping him corralled up. And I just can't say enough about Shunderick Powell. He is really a phenomenal running back.
16 carries for 140 yards, and ACU jumped. Flag comes out, free play. McIlvain fires, it's caught. Shy of the line to gain. It's going to be 3rd and 3 after the 5-yard offsides penalty against ACU. There's a 7th-year senior using a hard count. Ball was caught by Tristan Edwards at midfield. They'll take the 5. 3rd and 3 rather than 4th and 2.
I don't understand what the discussion is about.
So 113 yards on 2 carries.
Offside, defense number 90. 5-yard penalty. It will remain 3rd
Just looking
down.
at the day for Shunderick Powell. 2 carries for 113 yards and 2 touchdowns. The other 14 carries, Coach, 27 yards. So if you're Keith Patterson and his defensive unit, you hate getting up the big ones. But last week, Powell went nuts. He ran for 187 yards, little by little. 3rd down and 3. Screen pass caught. Breaking a tackle. Breaking another. And it's a 1st and 10 for Central Arkansas. Tyon Berry.
Once again, ACU having a difficult time on open field tackle. And that was not that difficult of a tackle because you had the sidelines right there.
That was going to be 4th down at about 5 and a decision for Nathan Brown. Instead, 1st and 10 at the ACU 45-yard line. And again, with the clock running, a 3-score advantage for ACU. McIlvain, shovel pass. This is Powell. Takes a pop. Kohili brings him down. And a gain of about 6.
It's kind of a little delay shovel something. It's really hard to explain exactly what that. The back just kind of hangs around there a little bit, and the quarterback lets the lineman get on the defense, and then he'll just shovel it to him, and thankfully we were able to get a stop.
20 touches for Powell, 16 rushes, 4 catches. Here's McIlvain again all day, dumps it off. Why not to Powell? And he's converged upon. How close did he get to the 1st? I think he's a yard shy.
Yep.
Where will they mark him?
1 yard
I believe
shy.
the 36.
It's a good thing he wasn't looking downfield because they did have a receiver running
Taken out of bounds at the 36
fairly open in the
yard
middle of the
line.
field on a skinny
It's
post route.
third down.
All right, so 3rd down and 1. Pistol formation, ball is on the ground, picked up by McElvain, dumps it off, and they're going to lose a yard. An amazing job by McElvain, the wherewithal to not only possess it, but get it out. And now a 4th down call.
That was an amazing play by McElvain. I mean, I don't know if there was something called out there because the receiver was certainly standing out there looking for the ball and waiting for it. But
Manny Smith made the catch, and this isn't the game, but it feels darn close to it with 1:48 to go. And ACU up by 3 scores. 4th down. Powell is out. Hale, the Thunder, comes in. Little used today. 4th down and 1. It's a give to Hale, and he's got the first. Not by a lot, but enough. And they'll move it to the ACU 34-yard line. And now a flag comes in, and ACU's Harold West just shoved a Central Arkansas Bear to the ground. It's going to be another 15 for Central.
you know, those two have been kind of at it, talking a lot. I can see, I've seen them in each other's faces several times, and I guess maybe it just got a little too heated.
This is going to be
Coach Patterson is certainly not pleased with that. They're a good enough team as they are. We don't need to be giving them. ACU doesn't need to be giving them freebies like that.
So they convert the fourth down. And then after the play is over, the extracurricular.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 27. 15-yard penalty, first
so
down.
move it from the 34 to the 17. And that late first half field goal drive for Central was helped by a targeting foul against ACU's Jameer Dudley. He's out for the rest of the second half, for the rest of the game, as is Tamarian Wilson for Central Arkansas. 1:20 to go in the third quarter. Pressure coming on McElvain, rolls to his left and dumps it off to Owens, the tight end, and he'll get close to a 1st and 10. They'll mark him out at the 11.
Pass complete to number 9, Jordan Owens.
And the time is on ACU's side, but the momentum for Central Arkansas is building, and they've got it second down and short at the Wildcat 11-yard line. ACU hasn't beaten Central Arkansas in 10 years. Didn't play every year since then, but it's been 7 straight wins. Going back to a loss on a neutral site in Plano, Texas, I think in 2014. Snap to McElvain, pressure coming, shuffle pass, perfectly executed. Powell into the end zone for a 3rd time. ACU sent pressure, Powell beat it, and Central Arkansas is back in it. An extra point to make it a 10-point game.
They couldn't have called a better play against that defense. Coach Patterson was bringing the heat, and Shunderick Powell just ran right past him.
2 rushing touchdowns now, 1 on a pass, and the extra point will make it 34-24 if it's successful. Last kick was blocked. This one is through. And with 36 seconds to go in the third quarter, it's a 10-point game. Well, it was aided in part by a 15-yard penalty against ACU defender Harold West, but that was a whole lot of Will McElvain, finished off by a healthy dose of Shunderick Powell.
Well, this UCA team is ranked highly for a reason, and they have been, as we've talked about so often, such a perennial winning team in terms of not necessarily playoffs in a while, but they really, as we talked about, this is a pretty senior-laden team and a team they feel like can have the opportunity to play for a while. They're certainly showing right now that they are scrappy, and they're certainly talented. And this will be a big drive for ACU coming up with 36 seconds left in the third quarter.
This is going to snap ACU's streak of quarters with at least 13 points scored. They have just 3 in this quarter. It's been a quarter of long drives since ACU's initial possession of the second half, which was a 3-and-out. Not many possessions at all. Last week, Keith Patterson was just marveling. They had 17 offensive possessions. They were scoring from 50 and 70 against Utah Tech. And he said that strains your defense, of course. And Ken Collins, the offensive coordinator for Central Arkansas, the former ACU OC and head coach, he knows all about that. When Ken Collins was here and his brother-in-law, Chris Thompson, they led Division II in points and yards and constantly were scoring in 2 plays, 3 plays, 4 plays. This third quarter has been one of longer drives. So 36 seconds to play in the quarter. McIver's back out there. He's going to throw it. Dumps it off. Oh, nice play to Isaiah Johnson. He'll go out of bounds. And what could be the last play of the third quarter if they so choose. A gain of 8. Take it down to the 4th if they want. And that's an interesting decision. Like, do you want to just keep your normal flow, or do you say, no, we're ahead by 10, let's get this game over with?
Yeah, I
think they're going to let it run.
I think at the end of the quarter, you let it run. The difficult thing is when you get into the fourth quarter, you have a pace that you're used to.
Yeah.
And so common sense says, let's slow it down and not give them the ball. But it can really affect an offense because it get out of your rhythm and get out of your groove.
That is going to be the end of the third quarter. Central Arkansas, with that touchdown late in the third, pulls a little closer. It was a 14-point advantage for ACU. At halftime, it's now a 10-point lead. ACU with the ball, a second and short coming up to start the fourth from Abilene in a moment. Ready for the fourth quarter, Jacob's Dream, the sculpture on the ACU campus. Created by Jack Maxwell. This has been a masterpiece today. Handoff to Sam Hicks on a second down and short. The pile pushes very close to the line. Again, he's got to break the plane at the 35, and I don't think he did. All right, while we have a moment, down to Daisy Strine.
Thanks, guys. ACU running back Sam Hicks was named the United Athletic Conference Offensive Player of the Week last week. Against his impressive game against Utah Tech, he had 203 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns on just 12 carries, and he continues to lead the Wildcats in rushing yards this evening. Also, Nehemiah Martinez leading the Wildcats in receiving yards this evening. Guys,
and here we go. A big play on third down and short. Isaiah Johnson down to the 10-yard line. No respect for Daisy Strine's fine report on the sidelines.
That was a great report, Daisy. That was really good. We might need to come back to that, but I think we got a horse collar at the end of this, if I'm not mistaken.
Isaiah Johnson on third down and inches from near his 35 down to the 10, and that's the biggest play on the ground for ACU today. Looked like he got shot out of a cannon. Think about all the short yardage stops by Central Arkansas today. That time, Johnson found a hole and didn't stop until he got into a goal-to-go situation for ACU. Now with the horse collar, move it to the 5. It's a first and goal for ACU and a chance possibly for a put-away score. High snap, Johnson again. Picks up about 3 down to the 2. I know you got 14 minutes, and so it may be early to say put away score, but to go back up 3 scores, that would be asking a lot of Central Arkansas. They've done it before. Second and goal. Johnson, no, denied again.
Well, he looked like he had a hole, or was supposed to go to the left side, and something, I guess, flashed across in front of him, so he thought he would go back to the right. Nevertheless, you know, running the ball like you're talking about, they used to say it's kind of like Novocaine. Just give it time. It'll work. You know, just give it time.
ACU with that 55-yard run Call it 56 to be precise from Isaiah Johnson. Now you got a 3rd down and goal. Big play here. McIver wants to put it in the air. Caught, touchdown! Nehemiah Martinez for a 3rd time. A 5th scoring pass from McIver, a career high. And ACU is an extra point away from pushing this back to a 3-score advantage. He scored long, he scored middle, and he scored short. Nehemiah Martinez the 1st. The 3rd time in the end zone today.
Boy, I'll tell you what. Rick Bowie has done an amazing job with this offense this year.
The first-year offensive coordinator. Ritzy Vase, the extra point. It's a big one, and it is true, as he's been all year.
12:52 remaining in the 4th quarter.
So ACU answers. The big run from Isaiah Johnson. The finish by Nehemiah Martinez. Cats up big again.
Looking at ACU is just that small school too, is that close-knit community with people.
When I look back on my freshman year, like immediately I think community.
Literally, you can make friendships anywhere at ACU.
Going to a college where people are constantly pouring into you and constantly caring about you and asking you how you are is it's really helpful, and it's really easy to meet people.
That's a timeout on betting. It completely changed the game, and you didn't even notice. Let me break it down for you. Betting ads are applying full court pressure and getting you to play the game. Many of you are falling for it and losing big money. Addiction is happening in some more than others. Now players are getting harassed by bettors. And we all know that's not how the game is won. So it's on us to be good teammates and draw the line to stay ahead of betting consequences.
I'm a storyteller at heart, and getting behind the camera allows me to capture stories that mean something to me. I knew I could turn my passion into a profession with an MBA. With the flexibility of ACU Online, I was equipped to travel and work while finishing my degree. ACU gave me the skills to become an entrepreneur and do what I love, telling my clients stories.
Pursue your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian University.
Honest look at it. Can we win?
Well, it has been a game of answers on a day that began with so many questions. Could Abilene Christian finally beat Central Arkansas? Hadn't done it in 10 years. Could they finally beat Central Arkansas in Abilene? 0-4 in their home city. Could they do what Keith Patterson said had the potential to change the program, beat a top 5 team? They haven't done it yet. But each time ACU has pulled away, Central Arkansas has answered. And so now the onus is back on the Bears. They trail by 17. This is eerily familiar to what Central faced against Arkansas State in the season opener. They were down 17 points early in the 4th quarter. Shanderick Powell had an 81-yard touchdown run, and Central ran off 21 straight points to take a lead all the way to the closing second when Arkansas State was given a gift via replay and pulled out a victory that is still being questioned. That's a touchback from Kyler Meskey of Abilene Christian, and a 1st and 10 for Central. We said this earlier, Coach, that even in that game I'm talking about, they didn't just throw it all over the yard. They kept giving it to Powell. We'll see what they do here.
Yeah. Well, every single drive for them is critical. They do not have a drive to burn. They've got to get points off of every drive if they have a chance to come back and upset, or I say upset ACU because they're down 41-24, but certainly wouldn't be an upset if they beat ACU. But considering the score,
it'd be a big rally. McIlvain dumps it to Powell. 3 touchdowns today, gets to the outside. He'll pick up about 7. And for Abilene Christian today, Bob, they've had the ball 9 times. They've scored touchdowns on 6 of them. make it 5 of them. Kicked a couple of field goals, turned it over on downs once and punted. They go play action. McIlvain up in the pocket, eludes a defender, has a first down, comes to a stop and is thrown to the ground at the 41-yard line. It's a gain of 8, 1st and 10 for UCA.
Trying to get the defensive backs from ACU looking in the backfield on that fake reverse, but they had their receivers pretty well covered, so McIlvain had to tuck it and run, and nice play. Got a first down at the Bear 41-yard line.
Yeah, not just do they have to score every possession, they probably need to do it quickly. Rolling to the right, McIlvain on the run, caught. Did he hang on? No. Jordan Owens couldn't bring it in. So the clock stops with 11:49 to go. In the other matchup involving a couple of top 25 teams that has at least one of them in the top 5, North Dakota State with a convincing victory over their in-state rival, Fighting Hawks of University of North Dakota. Second down and 10. McIlvain up in the pocket. He's going to go down. No sack. But Chris Herpin gets into the turf. Gain of about 4.
Then we'll have Tarleton State traveling to Southern Utah for the last game.
That's a big one. Big one tonight. Absolutely. And both of those teams are 1-0 in the conference. ACU is 2-0 in the conference. Central Arkansas 1-0. They're battling for the top spot. A win today for either team gives them the all-important tiebreaker should it come down to that at season's end. All right, third down and call it 6. McIlvain in the gun. Time to throw. Over the middle, caught. First down. Trajan Bridges, recruited by Lincoln Riley to Oklahoma. Came here to Central Arkansas, and he's been dynamite, returning punts and catching balls.
New set of linemen coming in defensively for ACU. They're going to have to start getting some pressure on McIlvain because and tackle him in open field because he's having way too much time.
And he's going to go down here, caught from behind by Colt Cooper, but not until he picks up 5. Clock runs, 10.5 minutes to go, and ACU up by 3 scores. 17 the advantage. Powell remains the tailback. He looks a little confused or frustrated, one or the other. Second down and 5. And McIlvain dumps it off Powell. He'll get a first down and lean forward to across the 30-yard line. Move it to the 29, a gain of 11. By the way, wrapping up that last nugget, North Dakota State beats North Dakota in the Fargo Dome 41-17. North Dakota State 2 in the nation, North Dakota 7. Zone read, McIlvain downfield, caught, and sustaining a big hit is Malachi Henry. It's a first and goal as Henry is slow to get up. Paid for the big catch.
Out on the field for an injured
McIlvain has been on target here in the second half.
I tell you, this ACU defense looks tired.
That was Harold West delivering the blow.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to get a replay on this, official look at it to see if it could possibly have been targeting.
It's over on the ACU sideline.
Media timeout.
So we've got a timeout on the field. Central Arkansas trying to answer once again and pull back to within 2 scores. Malachi Henry helped to the Central Arkansas bench. Here was the play again. Big hit from Harold West. Wind knocked out of him perhaps. Wind still in the sails of Central Arkansas. First and goal from the ACU 9-yard line. McIlvain hands off to Powell. He's got 3 touchdowns already today. Stop there at about the 6. Powell has now gone over 200 all-purpose yards. He is #1 in the nation with that exact number, 201 all-purpose yardage. And he has once again delivered for his team and given them at least a puncher's chance here. 2nd down and goal from the 6. Every 40 seconds that comes off the clock, every stop ACU can get, even if Central ultimately scores, helps the Wildcat cause. Pistol formation, McIlvain rollout, caught, and there's Siddons.
An open field tackle.
Mukes drops Siddons, and the clock will run. 8.5 minutes and a 3rd and goal.
I hate to sound excited about that, but as a coach, I always hated missing open field tackles.
Well, they've missed a lot today.
Yeah, ACU's missed a lot. But here comes a new group in for UCA.
Got Edwards down at the bottom of your screen. 3 receivers up top. Powell is the tailback. Clock runs. It's going to be 8 minutes or below when they snap the ball here. 3 on the play clock. McIlvain, pressure coming, fires. It is incomplete. Kohili deflected it. And a 4th down decision for Nathan Brown.
Was great pressure by Chris Wright that time. Almost got to the quarterback.
And because it's a 17-point game, I do understand this. You think you're going to go for it for sure, 4th and goal, but you got to get 3 scores, one way or the other.
That's right.
You get a field goal here. Of course, that's not a guarantee. They had a field goal blocked earlier. You get the 3 here, you make it a 17-point, make it a 14-point game. And then it's up to your defense, minus Tamarian Wilson, who was ejected for targeting.
See if we can get Roach in there and block another one.
The field goal is on its way. It's good. Kind of field goal extra point range. And Jake Gaster
Media timeout.
pulls Central Arkansas back within 2 scores. ACU 41, Central Arkansas 27. Wildcats set to get the ball when we come back. (41-27), Abilene Christian has led the entire game, have yet to trail. It was 7 apiece early in the first quarter, but since then, ACU has been up by as many as 17 at the moment, up by 14 after the Jake Gaster field goal from Central Arkansas. Sam Hicks brings it in. He's going to run it from the 5. He's got a little bit of room out across the 25. He'll get the 30 plus to the 31-yard line. We talk about those points plays, Coach. 7 or 3. This is McIlvain. Watch Kohili 46. If he doesn't lay out and get it, could easily have been 7. Kohili had a pick 6 against Texas A&M last November at Kyle Field.
Okay, here we go. Your ACU's offense.
Yep.
What tempo are you running right now?
I'll ask you.
Woo. Well, you know, you want to run all the time off the clock that you can, but you don't want to get out of your tempo. I think I would try to slow it down first, and if you feel like you're bogging a little bit, you need to get back into your rhythm, then do that. But I wouldn't be in any hurry to get up. Much time as we can roll off.
Hicks picks up a couple, and as Daisy mentioned, the offensive player of the week after going for 203 on the ground last week and 3 touchdowns. Nehemiah Martinez has caught 7 balls for 202 yards, first time in 11 years that an ACU receiver has gone for 2 bills in receiving yards. And they do let the play clock go down under 10. Isaiah Johnson, who had the big 56-yard run to set up the touchdown of the previous possession, is back in on the left hip of Maverick. And ACU jumps. Trent Pullen, the right tackle, came out of his stance. And then make it 2nd down and a
false start.
Baker's
Offense
dozen.
number 70.
One of the things that drive you
penalty.
crazy as a head coach.
2nd down.
You're trying to close out a game, and you got, you know, penalty on guys that just aren't. Folks, you never know. The defensive guy could have been, somebody could have simulated a snap, with their voice or whatever, hut or whatever, where the refs can't hear. You never know. I've been really upset with guys till they come to the sideline and tell me what happened, and then you go, well, yeah.
Run or pass here, 2nd down and 13. McIver, he's going to go a little trickery. Give it to Martinez. He's got the 30-35. Nehemiah Martinez has the 1st down for ACU. He's the player of the game. If his quarterback isn't, Martinez is. So they run it, yes.
He's down. Martinez is down.
Timeout on the field for an injured offensive
That is an
player.
enormous play as Martinez slow to get up. No, that's actually
good.
Trey Cleveland, I think.
I shouldn't say good.
The ACU receiver, the ACU wide receiver.
Oh, yeah. He must have got rolled up over there blocking.
So Nehemiah Martinez, 202 yards receiving, and now a big gain on 2nd and 13. Gets it out to the 44-yard line and gives ACU a 1st and 10. So ACU 6:25 away from improving to 4-2 overall and 3-0 in the UAC. They'll go to North Alabama next week. Yeah, that's at North Alabama next week. And then they'll be home on the 19th. October 19th, they'll host Eastern Kentucky in their homecoming game. They've still got Southern Utah, still got Tarleton State, who play tonight, as Cleveland is being helped off the field.
But as Coach Patterson told us earlier this week, this game is the key.
Yeah.
It's not saying that their dreams won't come true of having a playoff season if they don't win this game, but this would go a long way to sending them on a projection that will help them to reach some heights they haven't seen around here.
They've never been to the FCS playoffs. Right. This is a program that Ken Collins took into the Division I era. They had that 4-year transition period. So this is the 8th year they've been eligible for the playoffs. They haven't been yet. It's a handoff to Hicks. Got a little crease, but he was stopped
by a shoestring. He almost squeezed through there.
It's Karamba Kaba.
There's a lot of talent out here on this field.
Yeah, there is.
What do you think about this UCA team?
Well, Walker is the one that Nathan Brown said has brought in more scouts than anybody in the time he's been at Central Arkansas. And we haven't called his name a lot today. And I think that's a huge credit to Rick Bowie's game plan, the ACUOC, the offensive line of ACU, and Maverick McIver getting it away quickly. But there's still time as McIver goes play action, fires over the middle, incomplete. It was intended for Martinez, and now a 3rd down and 10, and that stops the clock with 5:24 to play. And this feels like a must-stop for Central Arkansas if they have any chance to win here.
Yeah, that's. I thought maybe they might try to throw a little higher percentage completion percentage pass, so that you don't have to be in a 3rd and 10. But I tell you what, Maverick has the arm. I look for a post over the middle.
Got Hicks on his right hip. 3rd down and 10. It's a give to Hicks, and that's the decision of a team that's up by 14 with time on their side. They go conservative, and they'll ask Grant Nickel to try to pin Central Arkansas deep. Trajan Bridges has a punt return for a touchdown this year, and so it wouldn't be the worst idea for Abilene Christian to kick the ball out of bounds. Central needs points, and they need points quickly. One way it could happen would be on a punt return as Bridges retreats to his 10-yard line. Central had a punt block last week.
They're going to take a delay, apparently.
Yeah, they're going to
call timeout. Going to call timeout.
Yeah, they let it get down to 1. You got a 4:37 to go. The other thing about running the ball there, it is conservative for sure, but
Abilene Christian, that's their
you do
first
guarantee
This will be a
40 seconds runs
timeout.
off the clock by running it. Central Arkansas playing its 4th road game in 6. Take a look at their upcoming schedule. They go home to play West Georgia, a very game first-year FCS program. Then they'll have a week off and get North Alabama. They'll go to Utah Tech, which is still struggling in its transition to Division I, at Eastern Kentucky on the 9th, and then 2 big ones to end the season. Home in Conway against Southern Utah, and then at Tarleton State. Caven Britton is another elite tailback whom both of these teams will see. McIlvain waiting and hoping for a chance to make a little magic happen late. 4:37 to go. ACU wants a clean punt here. No rush from Central, and this is a beauty from Grant Nickel. It goes out of bounds inside the 10. Couldn't have been much better. Nickel drops a dime at the 10. And now it gets that much tougher. Thanks to our team in the ACUTV studios, produced by Hutton Harris. Just, rolling the gospel chariot along, stopping. There we go. All right, way to go, Hutton. Thanks, everybody. And here comes Central. Well, we said with 12 minutes to go, everything's still on the table, down by 17. Now you're down 14. You've got a home run hitter in Shunderick Powell. He rattled off a 95-yarder against Abilene Christian last year in Conway. But now time is of the essence. 4:29 to play. McIlvain goes play action. Looking right, wide open, big catch, dislodged. West knocked it away from Henry. They collided earlier, and that was a clean hit from West, who was dinged earlier for unnecessary roughness or unsportsmanlike. So now 2nd and 10.
Good timing, very good timing.
4:22 to play. Central needs 2 touchdowns. And somewhere in there, something else, either a stop or an onside kick. First things first, 2nd and 10. Wide snap, McIlvain has it, dumps it off, caught Henry, and he's going to be close to the first down. I think he's got it. They move the chains, but again, clock doesn't stop on the first downs until we get inside 2 minutes. There is the 2-minute timeout to go with Central's 3 timeouts of their own. And Henry wasn't set, and I think that's illegal motion or false start, one or the other.
Well, it's a good thing ACU hadn't been set many
False start on the offense.
In the last 2 drives.
All 11 players were not set for 1 second prior to
Make
the play.
it 1st and 15.
5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Well, all the talk was about the Central Arkansas defense with David Walker and Tamarian Wilson, a couple of guys that figure to play in the NFL sooner than later. But the ACU offensive line, by and large, has given Maverick McIver an opportunity. They've not gotten McIver sacked today, or he hasn't been sacked. And here comes McIlvain sprinting up the middle. He'll pick up about 8, maybe 9, but the clock runs with 3.5 minutes to go. I think AC would take that all day, would they not?
Well, they would. I'd like to see him have a guy spy him a little bit because, oh, what a play.
Dump off to Powell. Chris Wright knocked it away, incomplete. And that's probably the best case scenario for Central. Chris Wright, who had a fumble recovery for a touchdown last week. You see him there disrupting Powell.
Wow.
3rd down and 6. Clock stops with 3:22 to play.
Anytime you can keep Powell from not having the ball in his hands, that's a great play.
17 carries for Powell to go with 8 catches.
All they got to do is get half of this now. I'm sure that's what they're thinking.
All right, McIlvain eludes the rush, fires on the run, caught Henry's, got some room across midfield. Big play from Central Arkansas down to the 41-yard line.
Number 6, Malachi Henry. Brought down by number 27, Harold West. 1st and 10 for Central Arkansas.
All right, First down and 10. Powell has it, running left, stretching it out. He'll get out of bounds with 2:53 to play.
Derek Powell with the carry for Central Arkansas.
So the clock stops inside 5 minutes, or inside 2 minutes, I should say.
Second down and 4.
And now you got a second down. And about 4. Field goals do you no good at this point. Got to get touchdowns in a hurry. Pressure coming from West. McIlvain rolling. And was it caught? Incomplete. Intended for Manny Smith. Clock will stop. A 3rd and 4 coming with 2.5 to go.
It's just amazing to me how McIlvain is able to elude any rush and just have wide open green in front of him.
All right, big play here. McIlvain. It's a give to Powell, and he's going to be stopped shy of the line to gain. Kohili got him to the ground. 4th down and 1. And the most elusive runner in FCS football can't get the first because of Kirby Kohili. Well, here's the game. It's a give to Powell, and he is going to just get enough. 2:03 to play. Now the clock again isn't going to stop until we get to the 2-minute mark. There you go, the 2-minute timeout.
This is the 2-minute
They convert,
timeout.
They keep hope alive. 1st and 10 at the ACU 29. Central needs a miracle on the Abilene Christian campus.
There's the Wildcat Club, the official fundraising.
All right, 2 minutes to play in Abilene. Central Arkansas, 1st and 10. Will McIlvain fires it for the end zone, and it is over the head of everybody. A little miscommunication as Tyon Berry went in. The pass went out. 2nd and 10.
Yep, little miscommunication there. Still waiting for ACU to dial up a different blitz or something to try to get some heat on McIlvain.
All 3 timeouts still for Central Arkansas, but just 1:55 to play. McIlvain looking over the middle, pass is caught. That's Bridges inside the 15. Now you'll get a quick stoppage of the clock to move the chains because we're inside 2 minutes. A couple of years ago, that rule changed. Every first down would stop the clock. Now it's just inside 2 minutes. Now it runs again. 1st and 10 from the ACU 11. McIlvain looking left into the end zone. Caught. Did he hang on? Yes. Bridges. Touchdown, Central Arkansas.
Great throw. What a throw.
Great catch, great throw. And Central Arkansas, because they scored and kept all 3 timeouts, I'm sure they'll go for an onside kick.
Sure they will, yeah.
But even if they don't get it, they'll have the ability to stop the clock 3 times and force ACU to get a first down to ice the game. Well, we expected a great game. We've gotten it between 2 teams ranked in the top 16 in the nation. Gaster on for the extra point to make it a 7-point game. And it is good. 1:38 to play. 12 plays, 90 yards. Think about big plays in this game for both teams. Central Arkansas stops ACU down by 17 on a 4th and inches on the central side of the field. They go down late in the half, kick a field goal to cut it to 14 at the break. Then Central Arkansas has a field goal blocked. ACU gets a 75-yard completion from Maverick McIver to Nehemiah Martinez. They get a field goal, so you get a 6-point swing there.
total yards today. We've seen over 1,000 yards.
Incredible.
Of offense.
That was commonplace in the day when Ken Collins was running the offense for Abilene Christian, leading Division II, and even having some huge days in Division I. And he's continued his brilliance at his alma mater. But now Abilene Christian with Rick Bowie, first-year offensive coordinator coming from Valdosta State. They've had 600 yards of offense twice this year, and they go over 500 here. Well, here we go. Onside kick attempt. Jake Ward. ACU's got 8 players around that 10-yard mark. 1:38 to play. Let's see which way he opts to go, low or high. He boots it deep, and Hicks is going to return it from his 6-yard line. Hang on to the ball is his mission. Submarined as he gets out to the 23. How about that decision?
Well, they have a lot of confidence in their defense, and they're gambling ACU's not going to throw the ball. And as you said, they've got 3 timeouts to work with.
Well, for Keith Patterson, it wasn't just that Central, for whom he has so much respect, is number 5 in the nation. It's the fact that it's Big Country Day here, it's big promotion. He has preached to his team since January. We're embracing the community. We're embracing the history of the university. And he thought this game could cement that if he could find a way to win. He's going to give it to Hicks here, McIver. It's a gain of about 2. And here's the first of 3 timeouts for Nathan Brown in Central Arkansas.
Central Arkansas
it's all of it.
has called their first timeout of the half.
It would be the win and what it would mean in the standings. It would be a chance to show their hometown, which has never seen ACU beat Central Arkansas. They're 0-4 against Central here in the city. And it's a chance to dig in to that ACU history and try to make a little history of their own.
Yep, be a part of it. That's exactly what Coach Patterson has told these players. A lot of pictures around on the exterior of the stadium of great Wildcats, and so that's something he's told them. You know, one day they'll be coming back talking about this team if you guys take care of your business.
The question here is, does ACU do anything except run the football? Do they try to end the game right here with something besides a run? You could end it with a run. Johnson's in at tailback, 2nd and 8. It's a give to Johnson. Up the middle, not much, maybe 2. And there's the second timeout call by Nathan Brown. You got a 3rd down and 6.
How about a Martinez reverse?
It worked for 16 yards earlier. Not a true reverse, but it was a bit of trickeration and a handoff to Martinez. He's been the best player on the field today.
Central Arkansas
there he is out there, adjusting Isaiah Johnson's shoulder pads. A 1st down here ends the game. A stop keeps Central Arkansas in it. Very little wind to speak of. What there is at the back of Grant Nickel, who got off a great punt, pinning Central back on their 10. They went 90 yards and scored, but it took a lot of time to do it. And so now ACU up by 7. They've led by as many as 17. 1:23 to play. In Central Arkansas, there's Coach Stacks. Meg Stewart, the defensive coordinator, whom Nathan Brown brought back out of retirement. He is a legendary figure at Central. ACU has Hicks in the backfield. They've got Blaine Taylor singled up on the near side down the bottom. 2 receivers out to the right. Here is the game. 3rd down and 6. McIver's been brilliant. He's going to throw it. Fires it. It's deflected and nearly intercepted. David Walker got in there to disrupt McIver. And with 1:18 to go, ACU is going to send Grant Nickel in to punt. They were trying to win the game now.
Well, that was interesting. Interesting if you're going to go for it, that was it. But if it would have worked, we would have been saying what a great call it was.
So here's Nickel. Last time Central didn't rush. They tried to set up a return. They get their 11th man on late. Good snap to Nickel. Again, they set up a return. It's high, and Bridges calls for a fair catch at the 32. 68 yards away from tying the game, and Central Arkansas has stretched this thing out. They had high leverage moments against Arkansas State before a late overturn by the replay booth cost them against Arkansas State in that season opener. Now, the run game probably is off the table. Maybe once with Powell. They could always go shovel pass. They've done that a few times.
Yeah, oh yeah. If they get Powell on the edge, even if it's, as a receiver, he's in the open field, it's going to be dangerous.
This is an explosive Central Arkansas team. Do they have one more firework? Snap to McIlvain, 1st and 10. Over the middle, caught by Powell. He'll try to get to the sideline and will. Gain of about 3. And it cost them about 10 seconds for 3 yards.
What a game, Grant Boone. What a game. We are so lucky to be calling a game like this.
It's lived up to the billing. 2nd and 7. McIlvain will throw again. Pressure coming, fires, intercepted! Will Schaefer! And that will do it!
Wow, what a play.
A will and away. And ACU is going to snap the streak. The turnover battle goes the way of Abilene Christian, and their leading tackler comes up with the play of the year. McIlvain is going for Tyon Berry. He found the other number 1.
Great play by Schaefer. What a play. He read it all the way, read the quarterback's eyes.
And a victory formation for Abilene Christian. McIver takes a knee. He'll need to do that just one more time.
Well, it's a shame somebody has to lose this game. There's 2 fine football teams.
Well, and for Central Arkansas, who will fall to 4 and 2, their playoff hopes are by no means dashed. But for Abilene Christian, that is going to do it. And Maverick McIver and Nehemiah Martinez and an ACU defense that bent but ultimately wouldn't break, they've all combined and conspired to put an end to a long nightmare against Central Arkansas. The final second ticks off. It's ACU over UCA to remain in first in the UAC.
I think 1,032 yards offense we witnessed today. That's a lot of fun football to watch on a Saturday afternoon in West Texas. So proud of both of these teams and their staff and the players, the way they played. Just 2 scrappy teams that I hope will make some noise come middle of November.
As your Wildcats return back here to Wildcat Stadium.
Central Arkansas averages 40 points a game. ACU holds them to 6 below that. Wildcats average 38. They get 41. Will Schaefer with the second takeaway of the game. A Wildcat team that was -3 in turnover margin, +2 today, and they needed both of them. And it is a jubilant Wildcat Stadium as the Big Purple Band plays. Keith Patterson, the defensive coordinator and the head coach, with a handshake for Schaefer. They hadn't created many turnovers this year, just 4. They get 2 today. A fumble recovery by Elijah Moffitt, and the game-ending interception by Will Schaefer.
Well, that ought to make Coach Patterson sleep a little better, because it did not set well with them, the fact that they were losing the turnover battle for the season up to this point.
ACU goes to 3-0 in the UAC. First time they have begun 3-0 in conference play, any conference, since they went D1. All right, while we have a moment, down to Daisy Strine.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Maverick. Maverick, what does this win mean to you?
Everything. I mean, we've lost like 5 home games that are like out of a matter of under like 7 points. It's huge to win on our home field and protect it. Yeah, that's all I got. Yeah.
This team was leading the nation in sacks, but they couldn't touch you once. What do you have to say about your big guys up front?
Credit to the O-line, man. They played so well all night. Run game, pass game, you name it. Receivers came up with big plays down the stretch. It was awesome.
How are you going to take this momentum into the next game?
Yeah, build on it, learn from it. A lot of people say that like a lot of big wins kind of hurt your team going forward, but we got to stack success and keep going. KP says it all the time. The price poker goes up. So
thanks, congratulations.
Thank you.
Ryder, we'll send it over to you and Jaden at the desk.
What an absolute thriller today here in Abilene, Texas. The Wildcats of Abilene Christian coming out on top 41-34, a good old classic Southern football shootout.
Yeah, over 500 yards for both teams. ACU had 350 pass yards. Maverick had a day. He had time in the pocket. The big boys up front in the trenches were able to give him time and space to make things happen. His receivers looked well, especially Nehemiah Martinez. He had over 200 yards receiving.
Yeah, take a look at the final stats of today's game. You mentioned it, over 500 yards of total offense for both teams, but the big stat today, turnovers.
Turnovers, yeah. I mean, we just saw ACU had an interception to close out the game, and that one fumble recovery earlier gave them an extra possession, go down the field and score.
Yeah, this win putting ACU in prime position to hopefully win the conference and be put into that FCS playoff. It's the first time they've been 3-0 in conference play in the Division I era. It's a good start for them.
Yeah, and KP is going to want to be able to keep this momentum going forward and see what they can do with the rest of the season. Selection shows coming up on November 24th. Let's see what ACU can do.
Yeah, that's all from me, Jaden West, alongside Ryder Maple. Great game today here in Abilene, Texas. The Wildcats win 41-34. We'll throw it back up to Grant and Bob. Guys, back to you.
Jaden, Ryder, Daisy, thanks. A lot of big moments in this game, Coach. None bigger than that game-sealing interception by Will Schaefer.
Well, it was, but just think about the first offensive play ACU had. It kind of set the tone.
It did, 70 yards.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. He was dead to rights. You called him down. I thought he was down. Everybody watching thought he was down.
So Abilene Christian goes to 4-2 on the season. Most importantly, they go to 3-0 in conference play as they head to North Alabama. Central Arkansas heads home to play West Georgia. For our producer, Hutton Harris, our entire team, and for Bob Shipley, I'm Grant Boone. Thanks for watching the UAC on ESPN+.